too sloppy. Things I showed you, I can't show me. After the daylight, it started in the hotel. Some ice cold drinks in this dark room. We went from a high school friendship to some postcard actions. Saw some sweat fall off your face into dance floor, babe. Dance on, babe. Sweat falls off my face inside. Stand up, babe. Stand up. Stand up. It's nights like this we're wide awake. It's times like this you shy away from me, babe. Started in a hotel lobby. Cleaned up just to get too sloppy. Things I showed you, I can't show me. After the daylight, it started in the hotel.
And hello, boys and girls. Hope you're doing absolutely insane. I'm doing awesome, and welcome back to the second qualifier of the WESG VGL European qualifier for the tournament after the final also in China. I'm your host, Maxman, joined by your awesome caster friend, Irishman Imperium. How are you doing, my man?
I'm very good. I'm excited. I'm hyped. I'm ready to get the action underway to see how these teams, these countries do and who can take advantage of the second chance that they are being given to qualify for the WESG finals.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to have to see how this tournament is going to be going out for the next few weeks, every Sunday towards the same time. And it will be casted by myself and Imperium. And I saw a few questions in the Twitch chat. So real quick, just going to put a little bit of an information out there. If Germany does win also this second qualifier, because they are also in this second part of the qualification, they will have to play against the second team in this tournament, so that it can't play against each other. Okay, that makes sense. But anyways, just answered that question right there. But yeah, so a lot of insane matches, Imperium, and the first match we're going to be having today is going to be France versus Italy. So what do you have to say about that matchup before we get into it?
Yeah, both teams, both countries, should I say, have players with extreme quality that are used to a high level of gameplay, professional gameplay as well. It's going to be interesting to how these players gel together. I know some of the players have a reputation for, I suppose, getting easily frustrated with the game. So I'm definitely curious to see how they do gel together. I know some of the Italian players do work quite well together, and we've seen these players practice as a group. But from also looking into it, Maxman, they haven't really played much as a 5-man team on both sides. So I know this is definitely going to be very, very interesting matchup.
Yeah, definitely. As you guys can see right now on screen, you see both rosters. So today, on to the side of France, we're going to be having Oswald, Cassius, Kyojonks, NNV2, and Noom going to be playing out. Unfortunately, Hegman and Mugli were not available for this first match. They will not be playing today, Imperium, and they were like the key players for the side of Team France. Like, they're two players that everybody knows in the community. Hegman for having one of the best lance worldwide, and then having also Mugli that has multiple titles up his sleeve in the VG community. And then on the side of Team Italy, we're going to be having OnceTT, Deck on your screen, Irie10, Decision Maker, and Shuckster will be playing today. By the way, I have to re-invite Decision Maker. He did leave, unfortunately. But yeah, those are the rosters we're going to be having out, and we're going to have to see what the players will actually be pulling off today throughout these 3 matches.
Yeah, the player I'm definitely want to look out for to see who I think will make a big impact in this game is Deck on your screen on the Italian side. He's a player with a lot of experience, both as a coach and as a player, and has a lot of knowledge. But more importantly, his attitude to the game, Maxman, is also one that is very friendly. He just loves playing the game and enjoys playing the game. So I feel in this kind of environment that can come across quite pressurized, where it's kind of elimination for and qualification for the WESG. I think an attitude like his will stand out, plus his ability on the likes of Varia and Celeste as a mid laner in all roles is really one that stands out.
Okay, so now I'm just talking with the players. Apparently everyone is ready, and I don't know why we're waiting any longer, Imperium. We should be jumping into it right now. So I'm just going to be launching the draft arena. I'm going to have to see how this first BO3 is going to be running out for the side of Team France and Team Italy. And also, let's talk real quick about how did they position last qualifier, Imperium? How do you think that's going to come out for them?
Well, of course, they both teams didn't really perform the absolute best in the last qualification round. So that's why I mentioned at the start that this is their second chance to make an impact. Both teams will want to qualify to at least the next stage to improve on. All these players are hungry for top level competition, and with the WESG coming up, like I said, that's the time for them to shine. It might not be as their natural teammates, but their own countrymen. As a country, as you know, people of their own country, they want to represent their respective countries at the highest level, and WSG is going to be the place to do that. But either way, we're into the draft into this first game best of 3 series, Maxman, with the bands coming out with Lorelei, Anka, Arden, and let's see what is going to be last pick coming out from the Italian side.
Seems like they want to take away. Oh, okay, interesting. So I'll be moving back to the desk right there for you guys. Sorry for that. Okay, we're going to try and relaunch anyway. Okay, that does happen, unfortunately. So let me just check which players are leaving. So yeah, seems like the side of Team Italy were looking to go for that Chumwalker ban. They did ban away Arden, and they did do a few changes in 3.8. So what do I have to say about the Arden ban there?
Yeah, with the Arden ban, he's a hero that got quite heavily nerfed, but in some ways not as nerfed as I think some people feel. So his Vanguard is down from a 4-second barrier to a 2-second barrier. That is definitely probably the biggest nerf that came out from him. And then his Gauntlet, he's on that level 3 overdrive. It's gone down from 8 seconds to, I believe, 6 seconds. So that is a big difference. And what that does is it makes a player that's playing Arden just have to be more selective in when he Vanguards and when he Gauntlets. So even though that's definitely a nerf, what that means is that it means that you have to be a good Arden. It requires more skill, more timing, more awareness of what's going around you with regards to a team fight. And the top level Arden players are going to be able to extract the high quality Arden gameplay out of that supposedly nerf. So very interesting.
Yeah, I'm sorry guys, I'm going to have to recreate the group. They had a little bit of a bug right there, so I'm just going to have to recreate real quick. So yeah, definitely, and also Arden in the top lane is a hero that can easily 1v1 the enemy carries, because right now the meta in 3.8 has been one of the biggest meta shakeup since the release of Vainglory 5v5. It's came out, and Arden can 1v1 enemy carries, so that is why Arden as a top laner is really feared, and I think that's why the side of Team France decided to take that pick away.
Of course he is. He's definitely one of the top lane carries right now, and is able to build, you know, just a solid amount of offense, but then tank up with that defense and be some form of a second support for your team, and has a lot of mobility, so is able to easily move from that top lane down to the mid lane to support the mid lane, and it just creates you know, just a really fluid gameplay when you get to pick up the Arden. He's flexible, so France taking that away is one of the wisest choices they could have done. What is also information for anybody else that isn't aware, Inara, the new hero in the 3.8 patch, is not available this week. She will be available once as a hero. She's available to buy for glory, but as for this week's games, she's not able to be picked. She's banned.
Yeah, definitely. So we're gonna have to wait that until next week to see some nice Inara plays. Just waiting for one more person, and we should be ready to jump into it. No more space. Yes, we do have space. We always have space on the PC client. And we'll be launching the 5v5 draft. Finally, sorry guys for the little delay there. We had a little bit of a problem. We should be jumping into the draft right now. You can see my very serious face right there. And once again, thank you to Razor for allowing us to bring to you guys this tournament. And we'll be doing our very best to keep up the content for the next upcoming weekends. And now I launch draft, and it's taking a little bit of time. Come on, draft. Launch yourself. I like how it says find a match for your party, but actually we don't have to look for a match. Everyone's already in the game. But
that Vainglory buttery smooth experience. But look, yeah, you mentioned the 3.8 patch, Max, man. Like you said, it's one of the biggest shakeups we've seen so far. Well, obviously, as has been discussed with the dev streams and with the changes that they made, they're looking to get rid of that kind of that bottom lane 2 against 1 meta that we saw in previous patches, looking to make the jungler a bit more of an assassin type hero that's going to be able to roam around, farm up on his own, and then rotate to the mid, the bot, and even the top lane to be effective in all areas of the map, so it's not just bot lane focused gameplay. And I think so far it's proven pretty effective. Of course, we're still in the early stages of the new meta and the new patch, so people are still trying to find their feet in hero. With the changes to the items and the heroes, that's starting to make a difference. But I think in the VGL WESG qualifiers, we will see a bigger step up to how these top players are handling the 3.8 patch.
Yeah, definitely. Sorry there, we do now have the draft on and going. Sorry for the little bit of a delay. So we do have Lorelei ban, Arden, Churmwalker, and the Anchor ban. Anchor did get a little bit of a nerf in 3.8, but it's still extremely powerful. She's #1 rating on the VG Pro website. It's followed up also by Gwen. So normal to see that get banned away from Italy. And first pick will be Grace. So a hero who haven't been seen, unfortunately, that much in the past few patches. And apparently she's making a small comeback. If you ask Chance Shorty, will tell you Grace is insane this patch.
Yeah, that's it. Grace top lane with that weapon power damage, and with the changes made to Tension Bow, that isn't just really an early game item, is quite strong as a late game item with a lot of crit built up, makes Grace a very dangerous hero. Plus the CC that comes out from her and the healing, very effective. But Yates being picked up on the side of Italy is really effective as a hero, has a lot of CC. That pull ability, once you time it perfectly, is going to be very effective, followed by Malene and then Finn coming out from France as their second pick.
So far, I really enjoyed the draft coming out from the side of Team France. They pick up the Yates for the side of Team Italy, but they picked it a little bit too early and didn't pick the main counter pick of Yates. There is that Finn. So Finn, late game, going to be able to, even early game, could just front lane pretty damn easily for their team. Yates is going to try and hook him down, not going to be missing, not going to be connecting, unfortunately, as Finn will be protecting his allies. So far, France really on the upper hand. And as I mentioned earlier, Gwen, top 3 best heroes in the 3.8 meta. Tension Bow and crit is what you want to build in this meta. And Gwen, she's just a perfect hero if you want to build that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and it's also surprising because Gwen isn't really being banned in the draft phases of these kind of games in a ranked situation. Her ban percentage is very low, and for how powerful she is, after the 3.8 patch changes, I'm really surprised that people aren't kicking up on that earlier. Plus, with her skedaddle, she's able to dodge the CC that comes out from the likes of Catherine and other heroes. But Catherine being picked up by Italy, followed by Reza. We talked also about how yesterday, at least between ourselves, how Catherine is very effective against this burst crit 3.8 meta. With that bubble, is able to reflect that damage really effectively. So I like that hero being picked up by Italy, Maxman.
Yeah, definitely going to be having a really nice front line with that Catherine. But then they're starting to pick up the heroes to try and take down that Gwen. That will then be the Reza. But now, Glaive getting picked up for the side of Team France. We know right now junglers before patch 3.8 used to be heroes that used to be really tanky or heavy bruisers. But now you can go for heavy, like, pure assassin. You can go for jungle Taka, jungle Glaive, jungle even Idris if you want to play it out of the lane position. So that's going to be really impactful to try and take heroes down, such as the Melina, and try and catch her off guard. And then last pick for the set of Team France will, of course, be the Samuel. It's fine, you know, they needed a mage, so they pick it up. I don't see as much synergy around the entire comp, but it is definitely a pick that they went for right there. Now we're waiting for the last pick of Team Italy, and it will be the Vox.
Yeah, talking about that Samuel pickup, look, Samuel is just a strong, solid mid-lane hero, and more importantly with Samuel, Maxman, he's actually able to hold his own quite effectively in mid lane. So what that can potentially do is actually allow Finn to rotate, as we seem to just have a small issue with the draft, so we'll try and get restarted as quickly as possible. But yeah, with Samuel, he's able to hold his own in mid lane. So what that can possibly do is allow the Finn to rotate top, bottom, and protect those lanes while Samuel holds his own quite heavily against the Meline, because a range that will come out from Samuel, plus with the AoE damage once he gets his level 2 Drift and Dark, it's going to put a solid bit of pressure onto the Meline.
Yeah, we're going to put ourselves in blind just real quick so we can go super fast. We don't have to wait any extra time. Yeah, somebody left, unfortunately. I'm really sorry, guys. But we will be jumping back into the game. Just put in nice matchmaking, or matchmaking for private game. Once again, very smart. And we should be able to get into the game ASAP. So the players should be picking normally the same heroes. I hope they will do that. And now we are going back into the blind pick phase. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Let's go fast, players. And we will be entering into the first game of this BO3. And just for information, guys, while we're waiting for the players to pick their heroes real quick, the match after this will actually be United Kingdom versus Ireland Imperium. I think you have a little bit of a favorite team right there.
I'm gonna be, as usual, my unbiased self. Go Ireland, go. But no, I am looking forward to seeing that match. Obviously, United Kingdom is most likely the realistic favourites. But anyway, that's going to be the game ahead. This is the game now. Looking at the draft between the two teams, Maxon, I'm sure you'll agree, I've got to give it over to France on their comp. They've got such powerhouses in the Glaive, the Gwen, the Grace, and even the Finn. Glaive, I've played against Glaive in the 3.8 patch, and his damage in the early game and the gank potential is essentially disgusting. And I know that's going to play a strong part against the likes of the Reza, Melina, and Vox in the early stages of the game. I'm interested to see how these two teams do play out in the kind of early game rotations that they are going to pull out.
Yeah, definitely. We're going to have to see how that's going to work out. But as you said, like, the early game potential here is going to be insane for both sides. But especially when you're looking at this Meline played by Once TT, you want to see them go for really hard aggression. Finn doesn't have a lot of mobility, and then V2 Glaive does have the afterburn. But if he uses the afterburn, what's left? Barely nothing when you are level 1. So you have to be very cautious about that. So I think early game, the side of Team Italy definitely has the upper hand. We're going to have to see how they're going to try and pull this game off here in the early game phase.
Yeah, and just to also kind of highlight a couple of things about the 3.8 patch that some people might not realize, although we might get some early game action, is the items do cost a little bit more. So the kind of the buying strategy and how quickly you're getting your items, it has changed compared to the last patch. So that could make a difference. But look at this, Maxman. Early damage coming out from MV2.
Yeah, as you see right there, Yates unfortunately not able to get the grab down on NV2, and Kyojon's doing a really good job with this Finn, just frontlining for his team, which is what that pick of Finn is supposed to do. Going to see a little bit of a jungle invade coming out from the side of Team France. Taking the Crystal Tree, no hard counter so far, but over there we see the Grace is trying to make a little bit of work against 1TT and Eerie, but unfortunately two successful invades for both sides, and I am messing up the camera right there. But yeah, anyways, it's fine.
Yeah, it just seems to be an even trade between the jungles. One team taking the enemy jungle, the other team taking the enemy jungle. It's actually pretty standard, somewhat passive early game play coming out between two teams. as they just look to find their feet going on in this game, first couple of minutes going on, we are seeing MV2, you know, sticking with Noom. I'd like to see him rotate up to his own jungle and to his kind of mid lane once he does get that jungle, but we will see what does happen. Like I said, the 3.8 patch, it's meant to make a huge difference to the meta and the way people rotate this game, but I think until they find their feet, players are still going to maintain a certain strategy as we saw in the last patch, Maxman.
Yeah, definitely, because how the 3.8 meta works normally is that in your bot lane, you're usually going to try and see your bot lane as solo farming. That's why I said earlier, you're trying to have in that top lane bruisers, brawlers, or tanks that can actually try and, even people like heroes like Reza, to try and go in that top lane and try and harass that enemy carry and try and put him in a gold deficit. So far, that's not what's actually happening, but people just have to like play with what works for them. And also, Team France was actually training before this game, so if they're playing like this, is that they know this is the best decision for their side.
Yeah, Loshold was in that mid lane. Samuel, he's normally a captain main, but he's a player with a lot of fantastic ability and is able to play a lot of different roles, so I'm kind of not surprised he's straight into that mid lane role. You look at Cassius on top lane, he's also, again, another player with fantastic ability. He hasn't gone for any weapon power damage so far, straight for the Storm Guard, which I do find a little bit interesting. I would like to see maybe a little bit more weapon power damage, but when you have the Glaive and the Gwen, it also makes sense why he's kind of going for that basic attack damage. Yeah. Storm Crown just to begin with.
Right now we're going to see at least a side of Team Italy trying to go for the jungle invade. Crystal Trin is going to be tanked up there a little bit. It's going to secure it. It will be secured over by the side of Eerie 10. Now he's going to try and pick it up. Afterburn going to be able to put Eerie 10 right in the middle of the team fight. And NV2 barely survived that engagement. Decision Maker going to run away. She does dip into the darkness. Wants TT with that Marlene. Dashing a little bit of damage there with the Shadow Tendril on Los Oswaldos. But he will survive. But still, first blood going over to Team France after an unsuccessful invade from Team Italy.
Yeah, now Team France, if they were wise, if Los Oswaldos was kind of wise, he would actually follow the Finn to try and get the... Oh. It was taken to get that CP buff coming out on the enemy team, but he didn't do that. Overall, that's a win for France just on the first blood alone, but the goal difference is so minimal, Max, and so each team are even. Nothing really lost or gained overall for both teams in the grand scheme of things. Looking at the builds, I love that Oswaldos on that Samuel has gone for a full CP crystal bits just to provide that really strong early game potential that he has, and is going to be able to harass that Marlene and hopefully starve the Marlene so she doesn't get to that late game as she wants to.
Yeah, it's definitely a smart decision there, because you're against a Marlene, you want to try and out-trade her in the early game at least, because she will, as we said earlier, like, she's a huge early game menace in the mid lane. But also, one thing we have to talk about is in patch 3.8, they actually nerfed the CP power of the crystal bits. So when you do that kind of strat for going for a lot of early game crystal bits, you actually lose quite a bit of damage output compared to 3.7. So it does do a lot of work, but nowhere near as much as compared in patch 3.7.
That is definitely very true. And one thing also in the 3.8 patch that players really need to be careful of is the mana, as we do see Cassius in top lane is getting a little bit of pressure by Eerie and Deca. But yeah, the mana in which the players and the energy in which the players have is somewhat decreased. They lose energy so quickly compared to 3.7 patch, and it's something that players are going to have to be careful of, so they're not spamming their abilities so much, and they're really having to time a bit more. But look at this, Max, another engagement.
This time the CP buff will be going to the side of Team France. Afterburn, unfortunately, going to be pushing Eerie 10 far away. Eerie 10 did pop the flask in response to there. Now going to have a little bit of a rotation towards the top lane, but no, not going to have any fight for now at least. But still, little trying to invade, but still not working out for the time of Team Italy in this early game phase.
Yeah, and I love the fact that MV2 is rotating up to that mid lane to help secure the buffs, to help kind of harass that set system. And we do see the first turret has gone over to Team Italy though on the top lane.
Nice afterburn coming out from NV2 down here in the bottom part of the jungle after. Oh, Ace's height does connect. Does do a little bit of damage on Decision Maker, not taking anyone down at this point. Or maybe it will. No! One CT getting away from that last Malice and Verdict barely. And now they will be jumping away. That's going to be a... Yeah, he's trying to yeet back those enemies, but not going to be working out for him at this point. Still 1-0 for the side of Team France, and a goal lead a little bit going over to the side of Team Italy. So still nobody's game in this early game, but 1K lead for Italy.
Yeah, survived. One CT survived by the skin of his teeth on Oswaldo's mouse and verdicts. But yeah, that goal difference has kind of come down to the turn. France are looking a bit more fluid as a 5-man team. They seem a bit more effective as a 3 or 4-man team, as Kyo Jonks maybe getting a little bit out of position. But yeah, so when it comes to that late game, as Finn really comes on board with that barrier and with that kind of health and that pull, this is where Team France, if they stick together like they have so far in the early game, is going to make a big difference though.
Okay. Goodbye, Finn. Unfortunately, you can tank a little bit, but not too much in the early game phase. You are dealing with a Marlene that's level 7, so unfortunately, that's going to be an extra kill going over to the side of Team Italy, bringing it back to 1-to-1 in terms of kills there, and we're going to have to see how that's going to work out. But still, now looks like they might try and push out through the mid lane as they are 3-man team, or maybe looking for the jungle invade as the CP buff is just going to be now respawning, and they will be taking that as a 4-man team just in case, being really safe. And now Team Italy not getting those two first jungle invaders. Now they have that jungle buff up their sleeve, and that's going to be helping them out a lot into the near future.
Yeah, and just to talk about the builds so far a little bit, I want to talk about Dekka's Breaking Point first item. It's really interesting because Breaking Point got essentially a nerf where I'm not going to say it's useless, but you are overall more effective building crits. So I'm actually really curious as to the fact that Dekka went for a Breaking Point first item. It is proving to be quite effective in that top lane against the Grace, but I do kind of feel that if they had gone for Sour Blade as a first item, it just would have been a bit more powerful, even in the early stages of a bit of a team fight. It's paying off, but I want to see more core damage as we do see Glaive going in, Max.
Oh, Force of Court going to be blocked out by the side of Team Italy. Eerie going to be able to dash away. Where's that Troublemaker? Ace side does connect, and once TT just going to get melted down in a blink of an eye, and he's going to be going. Unfortunately, giving an extra kill over to Team France, but right now we see that Team France, they lost that jungle invade a little bit earlier, so they tried to counter it, and that's what we want to see. If you lose a fight, try and pick one after, that tries and gives you a nice situation to deal with. Now, you have Chucks a little bit there, I think he has information, yeah, they should be known that they're taking the ghosting, but this ghosting will not be taken away by Team Italy. That's going to be Team France taking a fairly easy ghosting right now, as Chucks might be overstaying his welcome. You might want to get away, and then they're going to try and focus down this bot lane turret.
Yeah, great focus by Noom to get onto the Marlene. That definitely has to be his target by the Gwen to take out the Marlene, a hard carry. But at least in that situation, what that helped do was it just to help secure that Ghost Wing objective. Or like I mentioned, the synergy and the positioning and the rotations coming out from the France team as Yates is nearly getting caught out and shut down. But that synergy as a 4-man team to rotate in the same position, it's paying off. Nice
grab down to Cassius with the stun. It will not take anyone down there, but Shucks does survive. Doesn't pop his ultimate, so that's going to be very nice. But as though in the bot lane, we see a nice push coming out from the side of Team France. But also in the top lane, we also have a nice push coming out from the Vox and the Reza. So nice counter push so far. I think they want to actually do a base race right now and try and go for this choke point turret into the bot lane, and they will trying to take it down. Shucks, will he go down? Does get afterburn out of position, and he will drop to this Gwen with Tenshabo Breaking Point up her sleeve. And you were talking about Breaking Point earlier. I'm not sure about that second item there, but we're going to go right now to the top lane too. And we did have a nice successful push coming out from Eerie 10 and Dekka on your screen. Not taking down the choke point turret on any side, but still successful pushes.
Yeah, that second item, Breaking Point build coming out from Noom with the tension bow. I'm sorry, I just don't agree with it. It's not the most effective item to go with tension bow, in my opinion. At least based on the 3.8 patch, but we are seeing the Finn being slightly caught up, but does have support now by the Grace as decision maker on 1CT are looking to take advantage of that position. But we do see the rest of the France team now joining this spin to try and make a bit of a play. Yeah, something like Tyrant's Monocle, even Tornado Trigger, I feel would have been more effective than the Breaking Point at this stage as a second item. But we will see how this will play out for the Team France. Like I said, Maxman, as a team, they're playing a lot better, so it could make up for that core damage loss as a 5-man team. They are playing and rotating a lot better.
Yeah, definitely. Now we're going to have a rotation. That's going to be the Oblivion coming out. Does connect onto the Yates. He's going to be out of service for this team fight. And that's going to be a ultimate coming out from Eerie. Not doing that much work. But now NFV2 having to run away. That's going to be 2 kills going over to Team Italy. 3 kills. They're going to turn their focus over to Noom. And that's going to be 4 kills for Team Italy. Los Oswaldos trying to keep the ace from going over to Team Italy. But will he be able to survive? I don't think so. The 2 turrets are there. He's going to be doomed. And he will... Oh, mate. Oh, actually, you know, running in the 90s, he will go through the 2 turrets. He's not going to be called out quite yet. He's got to keep up a few seconds to not give the ace. 1 second, Finn does respawn. Los Osvaldos was able to reduce the losing streak there for his team. But now he might be able to actually pick a fight on Decision Maker. Mercedes Pursuit does come out, but Reza is around the corner. He will drop at the end of the day, but no ace for Team Italy.
Yeah, look at that bubble reflection that's coming out from Catherine with only a Crucible and a Light Shield. That is ridiculous that comes out from Decision Maker on that Cath. It's really starting to play a part. Italy came on board and walloped Team France a new one, showed the power that they do have as a 5-man team, and that's where we're seeing the flaws with maybe the build that's coming out from this Gwen. The most effective or the biggest focus that needs to come out from France though, Maximum, is getting onto Deca on that Vox, because now he has double Tyrant's Monocle and Breaking Point. That damage is going to be insane. The crit is going to be off the charts, and he is going to have to be the core hero that gets shut down by Team France in these team fights.
Yeah, a few days ago I did play against Hundor in Ranked, and he was playing the Breaking Point first item followed by the double Tyrant Monocle, and that build is an absolute beast. He could even maybe go for a Bonesaw later on. It did get pretty hefty buff, in 3.8, so I wouldn't be surprised if that is the next item decision for Deck on your screen. And now we're going to have a try of a little bit of a siege situation in the mid lane on that first mid lane turret. No mid lane turret has gone down quite yet, and those are huge for the upcoming team fights. Very nice front lining coming out for Kyojunks on that Finn to avoid the grab from Shucks on that Yates. But now Shucks is going to be backing off to base, and now that's going to be a nice push coming out. Easy push actually coming out from the side of Team France, as they will not have the numbers to protect that first mid lane turret. Now they're trying to pick up a fight anywhere. Eerie Chain dropping down quite low. Those health bars, oh, melting as Shucks teleports back in. Maybe this is not the situation he wants to be in. He does take a bit of damage. Grab, successful grab onto Noom. Skadoodle, a little bit too late right there. But still, unfortunately, that didn't work out. I thought that was going to be a successful push for Team France, but nice teleport in from Shucks.
If I was Team France, I would have turned around and just focused on the Ghost Wing, because if they had a bit of a realization that 1 or 2 players had gone back on the side of Team Italy, they could have turned around and gotten that Ghost Wing in no time.
Nice grab on Newman. He goes down. The turret does also go down, but 1-for-1 trade in terms of turret and kills. Italy now gonna have to be a little bit cautious there. They do not have the wave to push the second turret, but look at that damage output just on the Finn. Atlas does connect, and also the Oblivion is gonna be put to sleep. Good night, sweet prince. Afterburn follows up. Deca able to do the Sonic Zoom just in time. Oswaldo's gonna be focused down by once TT, gonna be going down into the darkness, and now you have Deca. He's stacking up on the Breaking Point. Already 8 stacks just in a few bare seconds because of that double Tyrant Monocle build. Now there's gonna be Reza joining the party, and he's gonna be getting a lot of presents. He's gonna get that nice juicy kill on that Grace. And then V2 gonna get grabbed up, but he will be able to survive anyways, and the CP buff goes over to Team Italy, and they're changing now their focus over to Black Claw, and this should be a nice push coming out for Italy.
Yeah, in hindsight, hey, hindsight is 2020, but I do like looking at it. I like the fact that Deca's Black Claw is about to be unleashed on the side of Team Italy. I think the reason why Deca went for a Breaking Point in this situation is because of the Finn.
Nice ult in from Shucks.
Ult in.
Oh no, unfortunately that's going to be the light ribbon not connecting for the Maline. Gwen going to be running for a bare life right there, able to survive a little bit longer. Eerie 10, he's going to try and flank around, but the 2 low targets on the side of France, the Glaive and the Samuel, able to back off just in time as the Black Claw is still smashing and burning down that second mid lane turret. Will it be able to take it down? I do not think so, as Team Italy doesn't seem to want to commit to that second turret push.
Yeah, they don't indeed, but I think that's wise because they're starting to get a bit more of the late game team fight situations. They're kind of trying to start to get ahead. They have a huge gold lead of about 6k maximum at this stage of the game. That is pretty on board. They're now going, no, they're not going for Ghost Wing. They have kind of stopped it. Yates, what are you doing? Be aware, know what's going on. It might mean that France could have a bit of a advantage in taking this Ghost Wing, but yeah, really well done by Team France to kind of not rest on their laurels, to go on this Ghost Wing. And Team Italy, they got a bit of the jitters in that situation, maybe a lack of team decision communication coming out from them, where they just started but then they stopped it. But France took a nice advantage in that moment.
Yeah, nice decision there because unfortunately Deca on your screen with the Vox did rotate away. At that point he did go for his weapon buff in his jungle. So they didn't want to pick a 4v5 team fight, and if they did, it might have been 4 kills for the side of Team Italy and a ghosting. So they just give the ghosting away. Right now I think that's the best decision they could have actually done. Now they're trying to siege down that choke point turret in the bot lane. They tried earlier, wasn't able to pull it off. Will they be able to pull it off this time around? Chuck's taking quite a bit of damage. Look at that crit damage coming out there. Yes, it's going to be pulled in. He does get the stun. Crucible's going to be allowed to block the stun coming out from the Yates. Forticore! Nice Forticore! But Finn gonna get melted down instantaneously, and VT dropping pretty low. Vox gonna be taking him down instantly too. It's 20 stacks for this Vox. Deck on the screen, melting down the side of Team France. That's gonna be 1, 2, 3 kills for their side. Now Vox just gonna get a little extra kill up onto Cassius. Los Oswaldo's making a run for it again, but will he be able to survive? I am not sure. Maybe he will be. Yeah, they're gonna change their focus away, and they will be leaving him live another day. No aces coming out for Team Italy. It just seems that aces and Team Italy are just not friends today.
No, but sometimes you don't need the ace if you already have the team fight win strength on your side and you have the wave push. Yes, it's going to help, but man, that damage that's coming out from Deck on your screen is ridiculous with those 3, with the 4 damage items. You called it correctly, Maxman. He's gone for that bone sword 4th damage item. With that buff, he's able to give out so much crit attack speed, and it's just been so effective in the team fights. But what made it for Italy was that the Crucible blocked the Yates stun, and Deca straight away on the Vox used a way for it that silenced the 5-man France team, and it blew them up into smithereens, and he was able to get those kills all over the place. And Italy just really controlling this game left, right and center. France, they're not playing badly. I just don't think their comp is really that synergistic. The main thing being the Finn, because Finn is a hero that brings the enemy to the team, and when you need to dive in and wipe out the Vox, the Finn just isn't really able to do that, Maxman, at least in this situation.
Yeah, right now we're going to see him top lane for score. Oh, it does actually connect on Deck on the screen after Ben does connect, and he's going to get absolutely melted. He couldn't do anything at that point. Ace's side does get blocked out just in time. Iri going to be using his Nether Form Detonator to try and peel away. Now there's going to be the Yates ultimate, and maybe not the best decision, and you get instantly stunned by that good old fat Quibble right there. The grab does connect onto Noom, does get put on the turret, try and get the damage out from the Reza, but 600 basic attack damage coming out from Noom. Perfect afterburn. NNVT doing a lot of work there, but does drop down to 1 CT with the counter damage output on those Shadow Tendrils. Now the second top lane turret should be going down. So far the turret war is completely won over by the side of Team France. But after that in team fights, who has the upper hand most of the time is Team Italy. We're going to have to see how they're going to pull it up. Yates does miss out his grab, unfortunately. And Finn just doing a really good job tanking up for his team. I think they should leave right now. This is a little bit of an overstep. They do not have the glaive. But Reza is looking for this opportunity. Cassius just trying to get the stun. They do take down the Reza instantaneously too. Shocks a little bit too deep, pretty damn low. But also is the side of Team France. They're running for their bare life. And now you have Deca. He's ready. He's ready to go for it. Atlas does apply. But unfortunately, Cassius will be rooted back by that Yates and Millen wombo combo loss as well. That's going to be jumped onto by the Vox. He does have the Sonic Zoom. Try and use the EU Trin. EU Trin is your savior, and he will get away with the EU route as he does use the Oblivion to escape that ugly situation.
Man, I love using the tree to stop the enemy from getting onto you with that kind of potential stun. I've used it many times, and when you get it right, it is beautiful. So really well done by Los Oswaldos. And in fairness to him, in credit, I'm trying to look at the team fights, and it's not that he's in a bad position, but I've got to give him credit because he's surviving these team fights that France are losing, and he's stopping the ace from coming out from Team Italy. So he is kind of really helping his team to kind of survive in this game. But with another Blacklaw unleashed by Team Italy, all 5 members up, they will want to close this out as quickly as possible. 20.5 minutes into this game, looking at the builds, you've got Deca now building towards Sunburn Husk, which will make him just a little bit more survivable, a little bit more sustainable. You've got Reza looking out with that Spellfire Aftershock build. Really wise choice coming out from here. And now the Blacklaw is bearing down onto the base of France, Maxman.
Yeah, they're going to try and take down that choke point turret. They do take it down very fast. Now the armory is open. It's an open wound for the side of Team France, and they might actually try and go and end the game. They have definitely the potential to do so. Oblivion comes out, does miss out, unfortunately, as the side of Italy just completely avoids it. And looks like Italy are ready to just go for the win. They do not care about team fights, but Deca's trying to fight it anyway. He's going to try and change his focus now, but he's just stacking up. You don't need to take down the Vein Crystal if the enemy is dead. Kyojong just getting melted down, and now will the... Yes, the Vox does go down at the end of the day. Deck on the screen not able to survive infinitely, but you know what doesn't survive infinitely? It is also the Vein Crystal as it goes down and gives the first game of this BO3 over to Team Italy.
It didn't matter that Deca went down as he did. The damage had already done. He'd already built up 30 stacks at that stage of the team fight. And, you know, Italy, it took him a little bit of a while to get into the game as a 5-man team. France looked impressive in their synergy, but when it came to even though I said France had the better draft with the likes of Gwen, Glaive and Grace, it just wasn't as effective when it came to pulling Italy into their grasp and really shutting down the Vox. The team fight that Vox was shut down was where France looked the strongest, but then they stayed too long when there was a Ghost Wing and the Black Claw on the map. That's when they should have pulled away as a 5-man team. That's where the shot calling needs to come into effect. But either way, Italy coming out on top, and I'm interested to see if France can maintain their composure, bounce back, and take it to a third game series in the after second game.
Yeah, we're going to have to see how that's going to pan out for the side of Team France. Are they going to be able to make a comeback in this tournament? Going to have to see, but definitely, let's not forget, in qualifier number 1, Italy didn't even make it through their first match, but they showed to be so strong. I think 3.8 is definitely the patch for Team Italy, and especially I'm thinking here about good old Deca on your screen. He was absolutely shredding through the lineup of Team France with that double crit, bone saw, and breaking point on the Vox. It was just absolutely insane. Just your Finn, you're super tanky. I don't care. I'm just going to take double crit on my Time Monocle, breaking point, and you're not going to survive at all.
Yep, and Atlas should have been a priority coming out from.
They had Atlas on the Grace. They had one on the Grace, but it wasn't enough.
Yeah, but or even a metal jacket coming out from the Finn. I understand if you didn't get Atlas because it would have been a little bit harder to pull in the Vox, but getting a metal jacket would have made Deca just quite a lot less effective, at least against the Finn alone. It wouldn't have stopped the stacks being built up, but at least it would have made him a bit more survivable in the team fight situation, stopped him getting kind of shut down quite so easily. But when you're looking at that Italian team, Yates made a big difference in the late game as they came together. That ultimate maybe could have been placed at better times, but when it was effective with those pulls, man, it was golden. Really well done by Italy, and they definitely deserve to take that first game.
Yeah, I think one little problem that we did have, like we were talking about breaking point and stuff like that being built as a first item on Vox. I kind of understand because you want to directly go for you like double time monocle, but like in that situation it makes sense. But when you are the Gwen and you go tension bow first item, which is more now of a late game item, and then you go for the breaking point, you're barely going to be able to stack up. You're going to be useless for the entire early game, and you are dealing with a Malign in the early game, so you have to get for that early damage potential. So I think in that situation Gwen should have gone for Sorrow Blade, also for Sorrow Blade, tension bow, tornado trigger, time monocle or something like that. But I think she built in kind of the wrong order.
Yeah, well, tension bow first item I don't disagree with, but you have to follow it up with core base damage, i.e. Sorrow Blade or even Tyrants, but you don't follow it up with a stackable item. That's like putting your left shoe on your left foot, but then putting another left shoe on your right foot. It doesn't follow itself, in my opinion, Max Man. And I think when it came to the mid to late game, Gwen was not as effective as he should have been. But we are getting into the draft this second game, and the hype is definitely real, and I'm interested to see what happens.
Yeah, so then this time we will be having Team Italy onto the A side. So earlier we saw Team Italy, they did pick up Yates onto the A side. So if they want to do the same kind of strat around the Yates, they want to ban away that Finn instantly, because he was really annoying into the early / mid-game phase for the side of Team France. So I think if they want to try and pick that hero and rely around him a lot, they have to ban a little bit around that and try and take away heroes such as Finn and Lorelei. Anyways, I'm launching the draft, and seems like it's taking a little bit of time, but we are used to any guys. Matchmaking always takes a lot of time on Vainglory, even when you are in a private group.
Of course, man. Just waiting for that perfect moment, building up the hype, building up that tension between the two teams. Guys that are watching on Twitch, put in chat what team you want to see win and who you want to see come out victorious in this series. If you're supporting Team France, if you're supporting Team Italy, Maxman, you're French. So are you biased to this French national team? Or, you know, do you want to see this national pride come out victorious, or are you look, you don't mind, you just want to see some action and hype?
Well, I'm trying to be professional here, so I'm going to say this is an unbiased casting, okay?
okay, good. So we are to draft this second game, with Italy being on the left-hand side and with France being on the right-hand side of this second draft. Catherine ban coming out as first ban by Italy. That is interesting, not too usual, but it can make sense because she is so effective against these assassin-based burst heroes that are being picked up, and was very effective for Italy in that first game. So taking it away, because I don't think they directly want to first pick it, is wise choice coming out from Italy.
She's also in the top 5 winning ratios of the game so far in the VG Pro's website. You can go check it out if you want. Yep. So it's definitely a hero you want to try and take away. They do ban away Lorelei, so I was talking about Lorelei, Finn, Yates being heroes that are really dominant in this kind of meta. It seems like Deca is going to be banning for his team the big boy Yates, so he's going to be taken away. Now, what big heroes are still available? Anchor was not taken off the board, and I think one decision that came out from Team Italy is that Catherine is a big counter into Anchor. If she gets stunned, you can also reflect all the damage instantaneously, so maybe they want to first pick an Anchor away. I'm not sure if that's going to actually happen, but it looks like they want to change their focus. They will actually indeed go for the Anchor, and that makes a lot of sense then because they did ban away the Catherine. So far, Anchor without the hardest counter to on the enemy team.
Yeah, but what is also interesting is the fact that Italy banned 2 heroes that they had in the first game. So we're going to see maybe a very different comp coming out from Italy, maybe even a different play style coming out from them. Picking on Banca is a strong pickup, but now France have the picks of Arden and Gwen. Arden, who was banned in the first game draft, is able to be picked up. Is going to be so effective in whatever position he plays, whether it's top or support. My guess right now to begin with is it's going to be a top lane Arden, but we will see based on the rest of the draft. Churnwalker's still open. He was being hovered over as a first pick on the side of Italy, but he's now being picked up as their second pick, followed by Grace. That is going to be a lot of AoE, a lot of healing that's going to come out from Italy. I don't know how synergistic Grace is going to be overall. I'm going to be curious as the last 2 pickups that do come out from Italy, Maxman.
I got the impression Team Italy think it's still 3.7. They're picking a lot of tanks in my opinion right now. We're going to have to see how that's going to work out. So they do have then the Arden pickup. As you said, surely going to be played top lane. I absolutely despise top lane Arden in 3.8. His Blood for Blood and his Vanguard combo, how they work together, is just absolutely insane. So definitely, like, who's going to be picked up as a carry for the side of Team Italy is going to have to deal with top lane Arden, so they have to be cautious about that. They do pick up the Baron and the Lyra, followed up for the side of Team France. The Baron, like we said earlier, crit and tension bow is what you want to go for. Baron is definitely one of those heroes which, and it works on. It's just tension bow, crit, you just can delete and burst down one enemy on the back line. I think you can ask Hell's Devil, he will tell you how OP he is. But, okay.
What is interesting, okay, as the players have been swapped, I think it's going to be a mid lane Baron CP. Because they already have Gwen. Gwen doesn't really work as a CP mid, at least in my experience. But Baron does. You play mid CP Baron late game, that's going to be pretty harsh. But looking at it as a 4th pick, Idris being picked up by Deca on your screen, or for Deca on your screen, Idris is very strong in the 3.8 patch. Even as a late game hybrid Maxman, he's so effective and is able to get into the front line of the enemy team and will look to shut down the likes of Baron and Gwen so easily with his kit. I do like that being picked up. And then last pick being picked up as Celeste on the side of Team Italy.
Yeah, so unfortunately, again, we had the draft getting cut off, so we're going to be doing that in a private. But, so yeah, like, we have a really nice comp on both sides, but I think that, like, you're talking about CP Baron, and I saw people in chat saying, Max, man, why are you saying it's CP Baron? Okay, I think it's going to be Weapon Baron, and the reason for that is you have 3 squishy characters picked up on the side of Team Italy. They have the Idris, they have the Celeste, and they have the Anchor. So, and they have also a lot of mobility. Not the Celeste, but the Idris and the Anchor combined have a lot of combined mobility. So I would personally like to see CP Lyra, Baron, and Gwen going as weapon crit carries. I think that would make a lot more sense. They can play at CP if they want, but I think the Weapon Baron would be a lot more impactful throughout this game.
Yeah, but I do feel, and I'm going to slightly disagree with you, because CP Baron, I don't think Churn is going to be able to handle that late game. That damage that comes out on the Porcupine Mortars as an AoE and as direct damage, the likes of Churn late game, in my opinion, isn't able to deal with that. He's able to jump jets away to safety off the hooks, and is going to be able to be so effective from a distance that I feel Italy are not going to be able to get onto him, especially based on the biggest threat to Baron, whether it's CP or weapon power, is Idris with Deca, but that's only one hero. You know, yeah, okay, Anka can possibly get onto it, but I think Anka, one of them is going to be burst down. But when you look on the side of France, they have Lyra with the Bright Bulwark, they have Lance, and they have Arden. I think that's going to help protect the Baron pretty well in the late game.
Yeah, we're going to have to see how that's going to pan out for both sides. But with these 2 drafts over, like, do you think there's one team that comes out definitely on top? Or do you think it's going to be, like, pretty damn even?
I think it is going to be pretty damn even. The late game, in my opinion, goes over to France just based on the fact that it's CP Baron, and as a team-wide, keep him protected. He's going to be discussing early to mid-game. Definitely Italy, but we saw in the early to mid game in the last game, Max, man, it took a while for Italy to kind of get on board as a 5-man team that could play into the hands of France getting to their late game and protecting that Baron hard. But we will see if Deca on your screen can get a bit of a control of bot lane and actually rotate to mid lane in the early to mid stages and help shut down that Baron. Yes, that will go over to the hands of Italy quite effectively.
Yeah, sorry guys, I'm a little bit focused on the Idris. Look at this skin. Damn it, it's insane. I love it. It's such a good skin. I love it. It's spooky, guys. Let's go. It's Halloween. Anyways, now we have the game starting up and a little bit of the spam there, and it will then be CP Baron. So I stand corrected. You Imperium, you were right. I dearly apologize. But yeah, they're going to be going for the CP Baron, but I still think that, like, tell me if I'm wrong, but I think he's going to have a hard time hitting those targets such as Anchor and Idris. They're just going to be dashing and jumping all around the place.
Well, that's why Baron has such effective splash damage in the late game, so that you don't directly go for the hero, you go for the splash damage. Churn is going to want to hook up as many people as possible and provide that kind of group setting. But that will play into the favor of Cassius.
Shucks, able to secure the CP buff against the jungle invade. 4-man jungle invade coming out from the side of Team France. Good job, Shucks. And that's going to be then the double CP actually going over to their side. So huge early game potential coming out for the side of Team Italy, as they're going to be rotating back into mid. 2v2, he does get 1 hook and chain, 2 hook and chains down onto Cassius. He's going to try and run away. Core collapse does connect onto the Lyra. Is she going to be going down? She pops the flask in response, and she will survive. But early game aggression coming out from side of 1CT, and Decision Maker definitely on point here.
Yeah, really good start by Italy coming out, really providing a lot of early game pressure, ramping up earlier, you know, quicker than I thought they would compared to the last game. But they know this. I really think they know this, and they know they have to apply a lot of pressure early on in the mid lane. Get core collapse with the Heliogenesis. It's just really zoning out the Baron and the Lyra. And plus with Lyra isn't really a super tanky support, so also that doesn't work well with Baron in the early stages, or at least in protecting the Baron. Yes, the heal does make a difference, but only to really the Baron. Whereas Los Oswaldo's on that support is going to have to be careful that he doesn't get shut down by the likes of Celeste and help feed the Celeste in the early stages of this game. But with 2.5 minutes gone, the goal difference is just in the favor of Italy. It's how they want it, but they need to start improving and ramping up. They need to start snowballing this game as quickly as possible, getting to tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 items as quickly as possible, and then focus on the objectives. Stop that Baron getting to the late game, Max Man.
Yeah, so I'm seeing right now onto Kyodonks on this Arden. Doesn't seem like he's looking to try and trade out deck on your screen. I think that's something you want to try and do with early game Arden. He has more damage output because of his Vanguard, because of his Blood for Blood when he hits the level 2 mark. And it doesn't seem like he's been trying to look for those aggression, or at least trying to push him back and trying to deny him some farm or some CS. That hasn't worked out for him, at least for now. We're going to have to see if that's going to change in the near future, because Arden is going, seems like utility top lane. We're going to have to see how that's going to work out. But right now, into the top part of the jungle, we had an invade coming out from NNV2 and Newman. Now they're going to try and go and change their focus over to the Crystal Trin. Eerie 10 and 1CT coming over as backup. The decision maker. Extra cooldown onto those who can change. 3-man core collapse. That's absolutely insane. The CP buff will be secured over by the side of Team Italy. Shush going pretty low. Does pop the flash. Just in response. And Shush, what are you doing, Shush? Gone backwards for a second there. I don't know what happened, but okay. And Betty survives that. Eerie Tank taking a little bit of extra damage. This time, nice jungle invade coming out from the side of Team Italy. As Cassius going to be out position. Core collapse barely missing out for once TT. And now I think they might be picking a 2v3 situation. They don't want to try and pick up. Lance is there. He can punish you with an Impale Gifting Wall wombo combo. So they're just going to be letting them get away with that invade.
Yeah, both teams are playing really quite synergized in the second game, Max Man. Really well done by Italy, though, to really keep just the momentum and stay where they are, secure that CP buff. And France, they hung around, I feel, for a little bit too long. But I like the way they're sticking together. The rotation by Gwen and Lance, nicely done. They're not really focusing on shutting down Grace unless they really have the opportunity, wanting to protect that Baron and even Lyra in the early stages of the game. Talk about Deca on the bottom lane. I've played against him as an Arden when he's been Idris, and I found it incredibly difficult. I know I'm not that good of a player, but I found it so difficult as Arden to really stop Deca on this Idris from ramping up and getting those items built up. So I really know this Arden is going to have a tough time, and you know, even in the early stages of the game, Max Man. So yeah.
Yeah, but so far he's pretty damn equal with this Idris on Deco by your screen. Like, in terms of CS, they're pretty damn close. So far Arden is definitely holding up to his lane matchup pretty well. We have a jungle invade coming out from 1CT and Eerie 10 for that CP buff. But I think right now they have the rotation in their hand. They took the CP buff and theirs hasn't even spawned yet. So that's taking the opportunity of gank potential from Team France away. So now this is a really, really good situation for Team Italy, as they will be rotating over to their own Crystal Trin, and they will probably try and give that over to Eerie 10. Impale does miss out for an NV2. He will get rooted in place for his punishment there, for his sins. And now they're going to try and pick up a 3v4 actually invade, as they're there. Aces High does get Crucibled out. Really nice Crucible on point from Decision Maker. As indeed, very nice decision. And now they're going to try and go for it. Impale does miss out, unfortunately. Doesn't get the last hit. That's going to be a Holy Nova. Probably going to come out. Shanks does get a 2-man CC onto the Lance and the Arden. Shucks out of position. He does have a lot of defense, so he's pretty damn tanky. Core Collapse does connect onto the Arden. Going to get poked out a little bit by the Celeste with those Heliogenesis, but will not go down. So far, we are 6 minutes in and no first blood. Definitely a much slower game than what we had in game number 1.
It's slower because the teams are overall more even.
Also, you don't have a Malene.
Really, yeah, also there's no Malene. Deca has stayed where he is. He's rotated quite nicely. And even though you mentioned about Arden doing pretty well CS against the Idris, when you look at the turret, although look at this 3-man going down onto the Arden. Let's see if he gets caught out. We could see this first one. No, he does use the boots to run away, Max. And yeah, that bottom lane turret is really heavily chunked down, and Deca could secure this sooner rather than later. Good
job, Kyodonks. He's really trying. Our poor bloke, he's really trying to keep it up, but he's just getting traded out by Deca really well. Takes one turret shot there. He's going to try and take it out. When the HP bar goes down, no, Kyodonks is actually able to keep the wave far enough. Really good job there, Deca, trying to pull it off, but not working out. Vanguard just coming out there. Also, a little change on Vanguard now. Vanguard in 3.8, it only lasts 2 seconds, Imperium. So that means you have to time your Vanguards a lot more precisely to avoid the burst damage, because if you put it too early and the enemy just wait for the Vanguard to go off, they could just kill your carry or whoever you're trying to protect really fast. So you got to time that really well. So Arden is a lot more skilled than what he used to be.
Definitely, and I actually do like the changes that came up from Arden. But either way, Iron Cannon comes out, but isn't really challenged onto anybody. And we do see lots of those having to.
Oh, the TP on Decision Maker. Oh, okay. What are you doing, Idris? Deca, get out of there. Okay, he's just saying hello, goodbye, and just instantly gets out. But yeah, unfortunately, the iron cannon there was on the wall. I don't know why he was shooting a wall for, but yeah, so unfortunately not going to be helping out their side. As they're now going to try and rotate towards their own jungle. They're going to actually try and rotate not for the jungle, but for a gank in the top lane. Nomi does have the Skadoodle right there. Will he be using it? He pops the fast, use the Skadoodle, but he gets out barely. I keep saying Skadoodle. I'm really sorry, guys. It must be annoying, but and so the Storm does miss out. Eerie, oh man, Eerie could have actually jumped in and tried to ult back. He does have his Mirage ultimate available, but he will not take the risk, and that's going to be a nice pushback coming out from the side of Team Italy. As turrets went down, respectively, for both sides on their bot lane, so that's going to be allowing them to get a little bit more room for the next upcoming team fights. But I think that now they must try and change their focus or towards the mid lane turrets or towards this Ghost Wing.
I think Ghost Wing is going to be priority. But you know, as I've kind of been thinking, Maximus, Skadoodle, you got to use your noodle in this game to really get ahead in this situation. But yeah, I'm actually surprised that Italy have not gone for the Ghost Wing. That would have been prime situation. As decision makers, he's put a lot of pressure onto Laza Osvaldo's. That mid lane turret is really still quite healthy, so that's nicely done. Cassie's just doing his best to survive. Got the Spellfire first item. Is pretty typical on a CP Baron. 1CT is with this Churn Walker to provide a little bit of pressure. I like the fact that Arden is now rotated, but look at this with Deca on your screen now. Possibly pushing this bot lane will maybe be able to get a turret, but with Cassius, Oswald, and this Arden coming together, getting a better turn worker. Let's see, Maxman.
He's going to try and ult away. Does have his Trespass ultimate. He's going to try and get out. Trespass does block him out just in time, but Cassius will get bursted down, and they just turned it around so nicely. So the Storm ripping through 3 enemies on the side of Team France. They're going to be taking down that Gwen super damn fast, and now NNV2 just take a Genesis to the face. Will be able to get out of that skirmish. Was surrounded by foes, not anymore. Oh, gone, go for it. Yeah. Oh no, he misses now his Dance of Blaze. That's so unfortunate, but really nice reaction time coming out from NNV2, as they will now change their focus around after that good fight to the Ghost Wing.
That was like a magic trick on the Baron. Now you see me, now you don't. Anka just providing that burst potential and getting focused onto the Arden. Aftershock first item is interesting, and I think part of the reason why it's working in this situation because of that basic attack proc that it does provide. Plus with the cooldown, it means that you're not worrying as much about mana. You're able to just kind of spam your abilities a little bit more. So nice first item that's coming out from Anka on the side of Team Italy. When you look at deck on your screen on Idris, Poison Shift, Sour Blade is really working out well for him, followed by two weapon blades. I think he might build into a Tyrant's Monocle as a third item, but possibly even a tension bow or a bone saw.
Yeah, right now we see in the top lane, they're going to try and pick up that fire. I'm not sure. Chuck's going to take one little shot there. He is pretty tanky, so not much going on. But we're talking about that mid lane matchup. We have then Celeste up against this Baron. And we can see the Celeste having a 20 CS lead against the Baron, so definitely allowing her to have a lot more gold up her sleeve. She has 1,300 unspent gold, so if you want to be effective in the next upcoming team fight, I want to see 1CT actually try and shop. Core Collapse does come out, does get a stun onto the last, but Impel does follow up, and that's going to be 1CT almost taken down, but Divine Intervention just barely saves his life. Solo Storm, that's going to be Iron Cannon missing out. Unfortunately, Baron going to be pulled up. He's going to try and jump away with his jump jets, and he gets away. The 2 CP carries just barely getting out of those situations, while Idris is being sneaky peeky like as he's split pushing that bot lane.
Yeah, really wise choice by Deca. You could say, yeah, maybe he could be with his team and secure a kill onto the Baron, but 2 turrets are looking to be secured by Team Italy. Maybe not quite. Oh, that is a shame that mid turret not quite going down, but either way, that's 1 turret secured by Team Italy in this 11, nearly 12-minute mark of this game. The healing that came out by Grace onto 1CT was clutch, and then the gauntlet actually on the side of France onto Italy
Osvaldo
also helped save Baron.
He's out of position, does use his teleport just in time. They did have it up. He wasn't really in a bad situation as he did have that ultimate up his sleeve. But right now we're going to also have Gwen doing the good old split push in the top lane. That's going to be helping her out. Noom. Be careful though, she's out of position and you can see a rotation coming out. I think this is going to be a dead, very dead Gwen. She's trying to teleport in time, but she has her Skedaddle, but that will not be enough. Aces High going to barely miss out, and that's going to be Gwen unfortunately overstepping at that point and not having any support from team. So that was an unfortunate split push for the side of Team France. In the middle
Look at Deca 4v1 in mid lane.
He's going for it. Oh man, he's taking a lot of damage there. He's going to try and teleport. Gets the kill. Yes, he pulls it off. 1v4. Picks up a kill on the Baron. Team France just getting absolutely shredded to pieces as they now have Team Italy rotating over, trying to take down that mid lane turret. They should be able to take it without any doubt. Yes, they do take it down pretty damn fast. Kyojong is going to get pulled back. Core Collapse is available. Does use the Vanguard. Does use the block too. It won't be the block. It will actually be the Crucible. But still, nice game so far coming out from the side of Team Italy, just able to put on the back foot the entirety of the French players.
Yeah, indeed. Just really well done. Italy working so well together that
goal
they're
lead.
just making a big difference.
Oh my god. The goal lead is absolutely huge at this point. It's like, oh my god. A 7k goal lead at this point, just in 30 minutes in. So, gonna have to see how that's gonna work out for them. But definitely they have the extra damage output, the extra power coming out from everyone. Especially talking about this Celestia has a big goal lead, CS lead. So, how's that gonna work out, do you think, for the side of Team France? What should they do? Should they actually look for team fights or try and, like, be on the back foot, get a little bit more CS, try and reduce the level lead for the side of Team Italy, and actually after that try and pick a team fight?
You definitely got to level up in terms of items, in terms of overall the advantage that Team Italy have.
That's unfortunate for them, but that's going to be, unfortunately, Baron getting shredded to pieces. Ripperino, Hell's Devil, Baron. Kyojong's going to be focused down slowly. He shouldn't be able to get away. Look at that damage output from the passive of Eerie 10 on that anchor. He will go down at the end of the day, but there in the top lane, what do we see in the rotation? So the Storm coming out a little bit off-centered. Noom just completely in the center of it. Holy Nova does come out from Shook, trying to get the damage output, but he gets a Crucible, gets a heal from Lyra. He just sustained him like a beast, and Deca's just way too low. One little basic attack would be enough, but now he's got the Divine Intervention, and he's changing his focus over. He's going to try and get on top. Shook does get, with the Benediction, the kill onto the Gwen. And now Deca, he just got healed up a few hundred HP, and he can now join back the fight. Everybody's here, even on Vainglory, not only Super Smash Bros. And now, Lyra going to be running away, but she will get deleted. Eutrian getting the root, but will be taken down instantly. But still, really nice fights coming out from Italy.
Man, Deca on your screen is just the MVP. I like that Tension Bow third on and pick up as well, Max, man. It's just providing a bit of burst onto the Baron, and with Blackclaw looking to be
no,
Boo!
Boo! Got smacked, Baron. Okay, well, nothing to say right there. It's just an absolute sniper.
Yep, I think that kind of that's a bit of a an overview of how well Italy have done in the second game. They're 10-2. Gwen is shut down. France, I feel, are I'm not gonna say they're giving up, but they're slightly losing a bit of focus, or maybe a little bit overextended, as this Italy side are bearing down with this Black Claw, with the strong advantage that they have in both goal and kills. Iron Cannon comes out, but it isn't really effective. Maxman, is this going to be the game-ending move?
Gonna see that, but definitely game-ended. That's someone that's gonna probably die. No, Cassius will be able to jump jet his way away of that sticky situation at that point. Eerie 10 taking the damage from the Vein Crystal, and Lyra using more like her heals more as an offensive ability, which I don't really understand. She's kind of wasting that. They're going to try and change the focus. Trespass going to get a nice 3-man stun. No Crucibles available. So the Storm ripping through the entirety of the enemy team. Stun will come out, and that's going to be putting Eerie on the back foot. We know what's also on the back foot is the Vein Crystal of Team France. And this will be game number 2 of this BO3, going over flawlessly to Team Italy.
Yeah, they really took hold of this game right from the start. They took advantage of their early game prowess, with the fact that this mid lane of France was kind of starved, and they just took hold. Deck on your screen, the MVP of the series. Not to take away from the rest of the team, because they performed really damn well, especially in the second game. And France, unfortunately, they just could not keep their heads up and take advantage of a potential late game comp. I don't get why this Gwen again built Tension Bow breaking point. He essentially became a potato in the second game, providing no real source of damage, no real source of shutdown, and that really is what also put France into the wrong side of the result.
Yeah, that's going to be then the end of this BO3. Sorry, guys, I clicked on the wrong little overlay at that point. But still, 2-0 for Team Italy, completely shredding down the side of Team France. And I loved how, like, Deck on the screen was playing. He was like, what do you mean, Team Italy? I am Italy. I can go 1v5. And he was just pulling it off and actually getting kills on his own. So definitely Decker, in the next upcoming matches, when we're going to be seeing him into the quarterfinals, is going to be an enemy to reckon with and to be very cautious about. And even... you might want to ban a few of his main picks, such as Idris and Vara, which he plays incredibly well.
Yeah, he's just, like I said, a well-rounded, you know, player with a lot of knowledge and a lot of experience. And we saw it in that series. He really took France apart, tore them a new one, so to speak, especially with this Idris. Idris is a hero that also really heavily needs to be, in my opinion, priority banned or picked up. We're going to see that develop more as these games go on, Maxman.
Yeah, definitely. We're going to have to keep an eye out for that. But anyways, guys, just for information, the next matchup that will be coming up is going to be actually Team United Kingdom against Team Imperium. It's Team... okay, I was waiting for you, Imperium. Come on, Imperium. I was waiting for you. It's your country, man. Come on. I needed you. I needed you there. We're going to be having then Team United Kingdom up against the side of Team Ireland. And that's going to be really interesting matchup to keep out. Also, one little information we did, unfortunately, earlier have a team that wasn't able to show up for the tournament. That was Team Austria. So that's going to be then Team Czech Republic going up to the quarterfinals of the tournament. So that's an unfortunate situation. But still, Czech Republic has a pretty good comp. They've been training a lot in Imperium. We've been seeing that. They've been doing a lot of private games and scrims. So they're going to be an enemy to reckon with throughout the entirety of this tournament. But anyways, as we did end this game a little bit faster, we did do a 2-0 situation for Team Italy. We're going to be putting a little bit of a break to be able to get the teams ready and bring the content back to you guys ASAP. So I'm going to be sending that up, Imperium. Do you have anything? Do you expect anything coming out, by the way, before we put a little bit of a break? What do you expect coming out for United Kingdom versus Ireland?
Well, many wars have been raged between the two nations of Ireland and United Kingdom. Blood has been flowing over the years and you know, lives have been lost. I expect no different in the Vainglory scene and in this WESG qualifier. Definitely the disadvantages over to the side of Ireland. UK are definitely the team that have some of the best players in Europe right now. So, you know, Ireland are the underdogs in everything they do. Give them the right moment to prove their ability and they will pull it out. But I'm expecting a lot of action.
Yeah, we are expecting indeed a lot of action in this European scene. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. We'll be back then in about 50 minutes to get the players ready, as we did end a little bit earlier. And we'll be coming to you guys with the next match. Once again, United Kingdom up against Team Ireland. Going to be an insane matchup. Hope to see you guys there. And we'll be seeing you guys in a few minutes.
you wanna go. We could fly to the stars, yeah. Oh, 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 tell me if you wanna stay. We could fly night and day, yeah. Oh, 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 tell me where you wanna go. We could fly to the stars, yeah. Oh, 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 tell me if you wanna stay. We could fly, yeah. To the stars, yeah.
From your house into outer space. We've been planning a getaway. From your house into outer space. No one knows we're so far away from home. No one knows we are fine.
And hello everyone and welcome back to the WESG VGL Qualifier number 2, brought to you by Razer. Hope you're all having... Oh, I always click on the wrong overlay. I always click on the freaking wrong one. But anyways, we are back, and once again, where's your boy, Imperium? Welcome back, Imperium.
Thank you very much, Maxman. And this is going to be a battle of the nations, a battle of the ages, with Team UK going up against Team Ireland. And like I said before the break, Ireland definitely have the underdog status in this series, with the likes of Keys, Mr. Keiko, Kieran, and Benny, particularly Mr. Keiko, Keys, and Kieran, all pro-level players with a lot of history in the game. And I expect them to really put Ireland under pressure in this series.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be a really, really huge matchup. I think a lot of people expect UK to come up, but Ireland have a bunch of incredible players on their side, so never say never. Okay, we're going to have to check that out. Anyways, if you did just join us, I am saying you welcome. Thank you for spending a little bit of your time with us today. I'm your host, Maxman, joined by Imperium. We're going to be casting for you today on this second BO3 match. And if you didn't join then earlier, we had France versus Team Italy, and Italy won 2-0. So they will be moving forward to the quarterfinals against other teams who did actually win their first match today. But yeah, anyways, Ireland versus United Kingdom with a lot of known players, especially on the side of United Kingdom. And we're going to try and set up the draft right now, Imperium. But what do you think these... like, especially Ireland, because you're Irish, Imperium, so I expect a really biased casting coming from you right now. But what do you expect? Like, what is the mentality right now of Team Ireland? Do you think they're just going to go for it, or what do you think they're going to try and pull off here in this new 3.8 meta?
Well, like I mentioned, like with a lot of things, anything do Ireland-wise in a sport or a hobby, they generally tend to be the underdog. So it's always a matter of nothing to lose, but everything to win. And I expect this to be the same in terms of Ireland's mentality. I don't know much about the Irish players. I know of God EA and I know of Call Me Speed God, but the other players I'm really not that familiar with, as we weren't expecting to be streaming their match, so the research wasn't unfortunately heavily done. But like I said, I expect them to just go for broke, hell for leather, hopefully synergize pretty well, and the 3.8 meta might go to their advantage. But with a Reza ban being picked up, Reza ban coming out from Team UK as their first ban, it's pretty solid, followed by Idris. Why start from Ireland?
Yeah, they're going to be taking that away. I think they just saw Deca on the Idris, was like, oh no, I'm not dealing with that. So they just ban it away. They're definitely not giving it over to pro players from the side of Team UK. So I think that's a smart decision so far. But also heroes such as Gwen and Anchor are still on the board, as we do see Anchor getting banned away by the side of Team UK. But they are on the A side. They do have that A side pick potential. So probably going to be trying to go for a Finn pick, a Yates pick, trying to play a little bit around those two picks, which are pretty damn impactful if you do not have the main counter against it.
Yeah, exactly. So, like that Lorelei ban coming up, we still have Churnwalker, we still have Gwen, we still have Arden on the board to be picked up by Team UK as their first pick. I would definitely pick Churnwalker, as they have gone for that pickup. Keys is a support main, but can also play in various different positions. Is really competent as a player, and I expect him to really dominate the captain position as Churnwalker. Yeah, Finn being picked up.
I want a Yates.
If you pick up Yates, Ireland, you will be really starting off well, but they're waiting until the last second, have not even hovered over anything. Catherine, not bad, but Yates really would have been better.
But now also, they don't have to pick Yates really, because they have the Finn, so picking Yates, like, on purpose against a Finn is not the best decision, and also against a Catherine. If you grab Catherine, she's going to pop her bubble, get out with the Merciless Pursuit, and she'll be safe. So those are two heroes that do extremely well into Yates. So if they don't want to pick it, this is the kind of situation you don't want to pick a Yates into. Like, into a Finn Catherine, that was the worst decision possible. They do pick up the Varia. I was going to say Decca's going to be happy, but this is not Team Italy, unfortunately. But they do have then Varia, Wizard Chain Lightning, bonused up with the Hook and Chain from the Churnwalker. So if they're able to have a lot of synergy throughout their games, they can definitely dash out a lot of damage, because Varia is a hero that can one-handedly turn around the team fight with her ultimate and like put a lot of pressure on the enemy team when that ultimate is up and available.
Yeah, definitely. And plus with the AoE damage, I suspect Dragon's Eye will be built pretty early on coming out from this Varia. I know we talked about how Dragon's Eye got a bit of a nerf, but against the Fiend, it can really help build up those stacks and really provide a lot of AoE damage. As we do seem to stop draft. But we did see Scarf was definitely picked up on the side of Team Ireland as their third pick, which I really like that, because Scarf works well with Finn, Maxman, especially late game. You have the hook, the force accord into the stun that comes out from Finn late game. Goop and Spitfire, that can cause a lot of damage onto the enemy team. So I do actually like that third hero pickup coming out from Ireland, but we will see how they do follow it up.
Yeah, we're gonna have to check that out again. SCMC, if there are any devs watching the stream right now, I am talking to you right now, okay? Please take away the choose a skin button away from the exit draft button. So many games have been dodged because of that. It's so annoying. Can you please rework the position of that button? It's killing me. It's absolutely killing me.
Definitely. But look, we're going to see as we get through this draft. I think the same heroes have to be picked up. Maybe there's a little bit of trolling coming out from Keys.
No, Keys.
He does like that odd little bit of cheeky type behavior, but all in good fun. As we do see, like I said, Scarf being picked up third hero by Ireland. I like that. You have good protection from the Fiend, good protection from the Catherine. I would like a bit more of a burst jungler or carry being picked up as the fourth hero. Flicker, I don't mind, but maybe something like a Glaive or even Alpha I think could be a good choice, but they are going for the Flicker.
They're going to try and bring extra utility throughout the fight. They have the Finn, they have the Catherine, they have the Flicker. So far the front line is definitely super impactful in terms of CC for the side of Team Ireland. But is it going to be enough? Because they have heroes such as Arden and Varia that can play with range pretty damn well. So Varia is going to be able to stack up quite effectively. So this is a kind of situation that I would recommend Varia to go for alternating current Dragon's Eye. I even see some people go for the first item Dragon's Eye. So that would make a lot of sense. But they pick up the Malign. And that I cannot get my head around, because you're against a lot of tanky targets. So even though you do have a good early game potential, but in this kind of situation, I'm pretty biased about that pick.
Yeah, it does spell interesting in terms of the situation, the comps that are going to come, like the composition that's going to come out. I believe it's going to be mid lane Varia, support Churnwalker, top lane Arden, jungle Malign, and bot lane Vox. But it could be swapped between Malign and Arden. It could be top lane Malign and jungle Arden.
I think playing the straight up assassin instead of the Malign would have been way better, because they're going to have such a hard time actually getting through the front line of the side of Team Ireland. But after that, if they go for stacking material, it will help them out a lot. I'm especially talking here about the Vox and the Varia. If they go for that kind of itemization, that would make so much sense here. Just wait until you stack up and then just dive on through and try and take down and take off the map that Scarf and that Gwen. Gonna have to see how that's going to work out anyway throughout this first game of this BO3. If you did just join us, this is match number 1 of this BO3, opposing Team United Kingdom against Team Ireland. Imperium, which team do you think will be getting the edge here?
Based on, I think both drafts are very similar. I do initially think Ireland have a better draft, but the experience and the expertise that's coming out from Team UK, I'm gonna have to give game 1 to them, at least based on what we're seeing.
Yeah, I think I really like Team Ireland with that front line. But we're gonna have to see. Like, this is definitely no man's game, and we all know the side of Team UK. They have Binny, they have Mr. K Cool, Keys, Kiran. Binny is someone that I see a lot in the rank queue, so that's why I mentioned him. Like super impactful on the heroes that he does play off, but especially like my eyes are on this Churn Walker. You're against 3 melee characters on your enemy side. That's going to be allowing them to dash out so much damage output because they're not going to be able to get out of range of keys so easily. But also one change that did occur in 3.8 on Churn Walker is that if you miss your hook and chain, before the cooldown was very short, but now they increased the cooldown of if you missed your hook and chain because it would reset the cooldown. So it's a little bit more punishing if you play Churn Walker and you don't play it as effective as possible. That's why Keys has got a lot of work up his sleeve to do throughout this game. Crystal Trin is going to try and tank it up. It will be taken away by a successful invade for the side of Team Ireland. Mr. K Cool and Keys getting a little bit bullied there, but they will be able to survive as Godier, Thrant and Sensei will be securing the entirety of the enemy jungle with the double backs.
Godier is playing very good in the early stages with this Scarf. His positioning has been on point where he's not really being hooked onto, and if he is, he's just spitfiring and pushing Keys away quite effectively. Sensei is also providing really nice frontline support on this Finn. Nice start coming out from Team Ireland as a first blood.
Nice. Binny with the Maline, a force to reckon with indeed. Binny able to take down Catherine under turret. Wasn't able to do anything. She was level 2 but didn't have her bubble up anymore, so she did drop down, giving over first blood to Team UK, but maybe that's going to come out with a counter kill. Yes, unfortunately, that's going to be Keith with that Churn Walker just almost going under turret there. Don't know really why. That was a little bit unnecessary, but still, he does go down 1-1 in terms of kill and a gold lead. Just a 500 gold lead going over to the side of Team UK.
Yeah, what happened there with Keys was that he hooked Scarf in, but Scarf had the Scarf still had his healing flask, so Godier was able to pop that, use Spitfire Goop, bursted Keys down, and then got the final blow. So really well played by Godier to keep that healing flask on, and it's just good by Team Ireland in the early stages. If they can keep that up, protect Godier, but one thing he's got to be careful of is that energy on Godier is really low. It's going to go down quite heavily in a team fight, so he's got to be aware of that and build up as much CP sustain as possible so he can spam at his abilities sooner rather than later in these team fights. But with the treants now popping up, it seems like Keys, Kieran and Beanie are now looking to secure that as quickly as possible.
Yeah, right now we have the jungle camp star respawning slowly, going to be taken away by Kieran. But now they're going to be able to rotate. The crystal chain was not yet stolen by Team Team Ireland. Throwing is there. Now they're going to try and take it. It's going to be secured away. No, maybe not. That's got a lot of damage coming out from the Maline right on top of Boom on that Gwen. Oh, they're going to try and rotate around. They're trying to sandwich them up, but Mr. K is in quite of a sticky situation. He's changing his focus over to Godier. He popped Flask a few minutes ago, as he did mention Imperium, so he's not going to be able to survive an extra burst damage output. But now they are on the back foot. Spitfire barely misses out the target that was Binny. And now you have Polite Company. But if careful, Quibble does pull him out. It does pop it, and unfortunately, that's going to be the kill. Picked up by the Flicker. Flicker early game. He's just, it's so toxic. Like, Flicker early game is insanely toxic. It just does damage instantly. Instant cast from range, and it's just so good on low level targets and low health targets such as Maline.
Yeah, true, but like I said, the credit in these last couple of kills that are coming out from Ireland is the position that is coming out from the Finn, and even Godier. He's keeping himself alive so effectively, although Call Me Speed God nearly goes down on that Catherine. But yeah, Godier, Sensei are carrying Team Ireland so far in this mid lane, really helping themselves ramp up, get to that late game. And with Call Me Godspeed,
that's not a good thing.
He's joining them, he's going to lose life.
Yeah, Call Me Speed God already used the flask a little bit earlier after avoiding the spear from Kieran. So Call Me Speed God just barely surviving that with the Polite Company coming out from the Finn. Nice utility there from their support, able to survive a little bit longer. But still, right now we are almost 5 minutes into the game. Little bit of a goal lead going over to the side of the UK, but still, this is no man's game, and they're definitely holding pretty well their early game potential, knowing that they have heroes that are not that effective early game. I'm thinking here about the Gwen and the Scarf, but they do have Flicker that can turn around team fights, as we did see earlier against Binny on that Maline.
Definitely, and just one thing though to point out is Kieran has not gone to shop yet. He's yet to purchase. He has 2.7k gold, and he's in 5 minutes, so that power spike is going to be noticeable, and you saw how close he nearly bursted down Call Me Speed God. So with now this power spike going for alternating current first item, we mentioned that might happen. Call Me Speed God getting caught out, sandwiched in Maxman.
Call Me Speed God. He's there. Double man route coming out from the Flicker, but unfortunately just not enough. Binny on the front line dip into the darkness there to avoid a little bit of damage. Spitfire going to be poking down Kieran. A little bit of a poke war so far. CJ is still, I don't know how to say his name actually, but I'm going to say Finn. Okay, it's going to make it way easier for me. He's still level 5. When he's going to hit that level 6 spike, he can actually try and surprise the enemy team, because right now, the side of UK, they think he's still level 5. So that's how I play it when I play Finn. Stay in the mid lane until you hit level 6, and then just instantly grab when you hit it like that. The enemies won't have the time to react to it, and that's what he's doing right now with Kieran being low HP. If he gets level 6 really soon, which is going to happen in the next few seconds, he's got a big opportunity. So I think that's going to be happening pretty damn soon.
Definitely. And then looking at the builds, we do see the Vox has got a full tier 3 item before the Gwen in the countering bot lanes. So that is definitely going to be effective. It shows that Team England are just slightly ahead in terms of item builds, because you even see Kieran has got a full tier 3 item before God EA, which slightly to be expected. But like I said, the biggest difference is that you know, Gwen has yet to get a full tier 3 item, and I'm Clean has already got Serpent's Mats, building into what most likely will be I'm
gonna say, don't do the same mistake. He died earlier doing the same move, and he will die the exact same way as in the first blood. So that's very unfortunate. You should learn from your mistakes, and unfortunately that is not something that Call Me Speed God is doing. You gotta respect early game Moline, and especially, as you did say, the Vox did have Sephiroth's first item. Even though it's not that good of an impactful early game item, it only gives you 60 weapon power. It's still an item that can give you an edge against the Catherine, especially when she's only got a tier 1 armor per sleeve.
Yeah, and plus with the kind of the health restoration that comes from the Serpent's Mat, it kind of helps to negate the bubble damage reflection. So I do actually like that Serpent's Mat's first pickup as a Ghost Wing has been secured by Team UK.
From flick up, Moonlight coming down. Quibble going to be putting a lot of damage down onto Kieran, and I'm clean going to get dirty right in the middle of this fight. Kieran taking a lot of damage, just trying to use his ult just in time. He will die before he actually ends the animation. That's 2 kills over to Team Ireland as the Quibble secures a kill onto the Vox, and Ireland really putting on the back foot Team UK, and this is really surprising, as a lot of people I think are expecting UK to get the upper hand, but they're completely shredding them through in these team fights.
Boom shakalaka, right? Boom. Focused onto Melina and shut her down. It meant that
oh no, Auden, no! Auden, get out! Get out! Okay, no, he's gonna get rooted. No, oh damn it, I thought he was gonna get rooted. That's gonna be, anyway, the Dragon's Breath coming out. Barbecue time! He's gonna get roasted, kid, but he will survive anyways, as he did pop the Vanguard too, getting out of that situation. But Ghost Wing was, anyway, taken away a little bit earlier by the side of Team UK, so that's going to be giving them a little bit of an edge in the next team fight, but they still have 1/4 time left on that buff, so if they want a team fight, it is now. But unfortunately, they have Mr. Keiko and a few of their members that are not full HP, and also they're not into a fully pledged team fight potential, but so this is going to be a loss.
One thing to point out though is Rank Boom actually took UK's weapon power buff. Cheeky, but that is really good coming out from them. And this is where God EA with that Fiend is starting to come online. Sensei is really making a difference. You saw that fantastic Force Core coming out from them. Plus they've got turret destroyed.
Force Core, oh yes! Oh man, 2 ultimates coming out from Call Me Speed God and Sensei, and they cannot still not get the kill onto Kieran. That's a really nice trade coming out from the side of Team UK, taking 2 ults away, and knowing that this is the early game potential, so they're not going to be getting those abilities off cooldown quite soon. But Rank Boom, he's just jumping right into it. Quibble does come down, he cannot stun, he's not level 8 yet for the Finn, and now Keys is, I think, having a little bit of an unfortunate AFK. Report Keys, guys. Okay, unfortunately, Keys does go down there, a little bit of a AFK. Let's hope he gets back into the game. Auden, that's coming out of the Crucible just a little bit too early, so that's going to be the Catherine right in the middle of that. And Mr. Keiko just backing off right away. Hell no, I'm getting the hell out of this place. Man, he's just roasting them down. Spitfire comes down to clean, barely surviving that with the Vanguard and the Flask. And Ireland are just playing so well right now. It's insane.
Yeah, but if God EA had Spellfire first item, that would have secured the kill onto the Vox, but he's gone for Frostburn first item, which I get it because it provides a little better protection with that slow, but really Spellfire I feel would have been a bit more effective. However, with now Keys back up after a small disconnection, all players are responsible for their own connection, we could see a resummation in this 5v5 battle between Team UK and Team Ireland, Maximan.
Keys is back, going to try and get this hook and chains. Is it going to work out? Kieran is just way too late, cannot join the fight fully. Benny does get the CP buff and the heal too. Trespass coming out, does get a little stun on the side of Team Ireland. They're on the back foot right now, trying to escape as fast as possible. But Mr. K Cool uses the boost, going to try and get back the Quibble. He is level 8, he can get the stun. Now Benny does try and get the root down, but it is a feint, he cannot get rooted, but at least gets slowed, and he will drop down to the feet of Team United Kingdom. And now they're going to try and go forward, jungle invade, to try and reclaim a little bit of the lost camps that they had earlier. But still, they like Team UK still have a 500 goal lead, so even though the fight's been going over to their side, they were still able to keep that goal lead for themselves.
I do think in a team fight situation, full-on team fight situation, Ireland actually have an advantage right now. Finn and Scarf are working really well. Oh no, Thrand, you've got yourself caught out potentially. Yeah,
he's going to get a little bit caught out, but he is pretty damn tanky. Look at his items. He does have a Storm Crown, which gives you natural defense, and then he also got a Star of a Fountain. I think he's going to be going for a Fountain next item. I'm going to have to check that out. But yeah, so he was going to be able to survive that force. Of course, does come out, and that's Kieran, an absolute pickle right there. I just absolutely, I absolutely talk like an Englishman, guys. I live in France, but I don't know why I said that. But anyway, he does go down to the force accord. Nice force accord there coming out from the fin. Sorry.
Man, Sensei pulls in Kieran and says, top of the morning to you, buddy, and gets that kill. But yeah, also, this Eve of Harvest second item pickup from Scarp. Eve has been, as an item, has been out of the meta for some time. It got heavily buffed in the 3.8 patch, and God EA is looking to take advantage of it and use it and put it into his ability.
Yeah, Mooncloak, the side of Team Ireland, trying to be a little bit sneaky, but they're not doing anything with it, which is surprising. They just used the ultimate, and apparently a little bit of miscommunication for their side, so that's going to be one ultimate wasted for Ireland. And now they have the opportunity to maybe try and look into a fight into the mid lane. They did lose their first mid lane turret, so they do have a little bit less room to fight for the side of Team UK. The stun does come out, and that's going to be Keys in a bad situation right now, but he does have his Trespass to reposition. Trespass going to be nicely crucibled out by the Finn. And now for, oh no, that's going to be a nice escape. Wisdom Merciless Pursuit coming out from the Catherine. Trying to apply a lot of pressure. They're trying to put up a little bit of a siege situation. But unfortunately, they're just so tanky and they can just outpoke them completely with that Scarf and that Gwen. They can't do much. Nice force called once again. But he doesn't have the Trespass anymore. And Keys, he drops down first. That's going to be the Roasted coming out. Trying to get the stun. He does get stunned by the edge of the gauntlet there. But that's going to be also the Malign dropping down. That's going to be a 2-0 trade actually again for Ireland. And they're not slowing down their pace. They just keep going really strong as Mr. Keiko is able to secure with a blood for blood. That CPU off, trying to be a little bit sneaky right there, able to steal that away. That is mine. Get out of here.
But you may get it, but Ireland are going straight on to the Dragon in the terms of Blacklaws are looking to secure that. They will lose their mid lane turret if they're not careful, but Blacklaw has been unleashed. Ireland are unleashed as a team right now. They're playing better as a team. They're protecting their carries stronger. But one thing we didn't mention, or we haven't mentioned yet, that got heavily changed in the 3.8 patch, Maxim, was the cooldown on the reflex block and the Crucible. It's up to 75 seconds. That makes a huge difference and means items like the Force Accord is far more viable and effective.
Right now, you have the siege potential coming out there, and they're just going to be taking down fairly easily that choke point, that second mid lane turret. There you go, man. Mooncloak coming out. They're going to try and get the killing blow onto Keys. He's going to get out of position. Merciless Pursuit. It will not connect. Keys gets away from the Trespass. And now they're trying to, like, every ultimate is coming out. You do have the Finn that uses ultimate, unfortunately not making much difference in that team fight. And Mr. K Cool, he thinks he's weapon Arden right there, but he's not able to do anything, so you just got to respect a little bit more the enemy team. As we see now, they're going to be trying to get a little bit more of the enemy jungle, and they're going to be taking that weapon treant for themselves as the Ghost Ring is now up. So will that be an objective that the side of Team Ireland want to go for? I do not think so, as Scarf and Catherine did back off to base, but still really successful push for the side of Ireland.
Yeah, really successful push.
Really sexy push.
Really successful push. You know, looking at the builds, we do see Rank Boom. He's been very effective with that Sword Blade first item. It's just core damage. It's kind of take no prisoners, followed by a breaking point, which is interesting. And I kind of get it as the turret is destroyed in I believe the top lane. But yeah, it's interesting, but I kind of agree with it because you have that front line sustained by Fiend. You're able to build up those
Dragon's
stocks,
Breath, really good, gets you extra move speed. They're going to try and get on top of I'm
Oh.
Clean. Now the very nice corner going to be able to zone out Mr. Oh no, that's going to be Trespass too late, and that's going to be 2 kills dropping over to Team Ireland. The synergy on Team UK is just not working out at all. I don't know if they're in voice call or not, but they have to get a grip right now because they're just completely, again, out-rotated and I was going to say out-killed. That doesn't really exist, but I'm going to say it anyway. They're getting out-killed completely throughout these team fights. So I want to see Team UK to come back. I want them to try and stick as a team because when they team fight most of the time, it's 3v4, 3v5, and you can really see Ireland. They're taking in their own hands their situation. They're staying as a 5-man team, and that's what's giving them the edge against their comp, Churnwalker. But that's, oh man, I thought I was going to get a steal for Beanie, but that will be taken away anyways for the side of Ireland.
Shin na Fianna Fáil, that is the start of the Irish national anthem, Maxman, and Ireland are doing their country proud right now. They're just playing so well as a team, looking into what is getting them an advantage so far. It's all about protecting their carries and putting themselves in the right position, and Sensei is doing that job.
No,
coming out.
they're going on him, peekaboo! I'm Clean, you're going to get caught out by the Mooncloak, and he's going to go down instantaneously. Can't do anything. Chumwalker right in the thick of it. He does have his ultimate. Trespassers get away. Also gets the Vanguard from the Arden to get that little extra range potential out. To get out of that fight. He was surrounded by foes, got out of that, but still really not. Once again, like you see those team fights, they catch people off guard on the side of Team UK and CC him down and focus him down, and they burst him super well with the Gwen and also this Scarf, and they just can't do anything. That's going to be Keys out of position. He doesn't have his Trespass to reposition. I mean, call me Speed God. Indeed, Speed God is just running out of that, even though he's so low. Crucible going to be popped out by the side of Team Ireland. Nice ultimate. Oh, nice damage output from the Maleen, but just not enough, and he will drop down to the feet of this Gwen. Crit Gwen is the way to go. Vayne Crystal is carrying freaking more than the entire team of UK. They're going to try and push Mr. K Cool on the back foot. He's trying to tank on the front line, but he's just getting melted down by this Scarf and this Gwen. Can he survive it? I don't think so, as he drops down.
Man, this is just Ireland being so effective. They're standing their ground now. Maybe they are kind of overextending their welcome, but they've got the armory. That is objective taken. That is advantage even more in their favor. They're 15 kills to 5. The goal difference is still minimal between the two teams. Maximum, that's one thing I want to point out. But the thing that have been in their favor, like I said, as a 5-man team, they are using their comp to their advantage. Call me Speed God has been a little bit out of position sometimes. Could be a little bit tankier if he wants to be that front line, but either way, he has helped his team with those silences. The activatables have been very synergized between Team Ireland, as in they're not using the Blast Tremor and the Force Chord at the same time. They're really kind of either using one or the other, and if one works, then great. But if it doesn't, then they have the other to fall back on, and that's really making a difference in this game and putting Ireland in the front line to take this game one.
Definitely, they are super well started throughout this game, but still, there's no actual dominant gold lead for the side of Team Ireland. They were not able to commit on that gold lead, so that's very unfortunate for them. But right now, they're going for the Black Claw as a 5-man team, and that, once again, is the strength of Team Ireland. Really nice synergy, and unfortunately Team UK, they're just not here. Vario going to be doing an Anvil's Hammer right down, trying to get maybe a lucky steal right there, but Ireland just knew what was going on. They just got away from the Black Claw, retreated, waited for the ult to get out, and then they just gone back in on the Black Claw and took it down. 2 Vayne Crystal armories did get taken down in the mid lane and the top lane, so this Imperium might be the last team fight of this first game of this BO3. Who do you think will take the win here?
Definitely, it's Ireland's game to lose right now. One thing though to point out is that there is a lot of reflex blocks and crucibles coming out from Team UK, but let's see what happens.
Nice blast tremor, gonna get a nice little silence force. Of course, gonna get crucibled out by this side of Team UK. They're gonna try and get the armory down so they can focus down the Vayne Crystal. This is gonna be a nice roasting coming out by the Scarf. Barbecue time, boys and girls. Again, destroyed. Maleen, unfortunately, gonna be taken down in her own base. Disrespect, man. I cannot get this into Worlds. They just can't do anything. That's going to be 3 mans going down for the side of Team UK, and now the Vayne Crystal drops to the feet of Team Ireland. Imperium, I guess you are a very happy man right now.
I'm not gonna lie, man, I'm damn proud of my country right now. I'm damn proud of these boys. I kind of said they're the underdogs, and I'm still gonna stick to that, but they proved this, and they proved that they can go further. Look, at the end of the day, Maxon, it's all about playing the comp to your strengths. I said Scarf and Finn worked well together. This proved me right. Wherever Gaudier was, Sensei
you're lagging a little bit,
was.
boy. Robocop, how are you doing?
Wherever Sensei was. Sorry, my humble apologies. Is it back to normal?
Okay, well, anyways, that's game number 1 going over to the side of Team Island. I think not many people expected that outcome, but I am really happily surprised to see that come out. And we're going to put ourselves onto the desk over there for you guys, and you can see my beautiful face like that. Hello, boys and girls. Welcome back. And yeah, so that was game number 1. Island just completely outplaying, not outplaying, but like just picking up team fights to their advantage, staying as a 5-man team. And how is Team UK going to respond to this? Because the draft, in my opinion, was like pretty decent. I think there was a little bit of an edge going over to Team Island, but like being this impactful throughout the game, that was absolutely insane game mechanics coming out from Team Island.
Yeah, at the end of the day, what lost Team UK was the game was not really. The comps were okay, but they didn't really play their comp to the biggest strength. They could have maybe had more of an assassin hero on their team that could have bursted down the Scarf. But when you put Finn and Scarf on the same team and let them get the late game, you're going to pay the price. And that's what Team UK did. And they're going to have to rethink their draft. Either don't let the Finn through, or if you're going to let the Finn through with the Scarf, so to speak, you have to counter that with strong bursts and early game damage.
Yeah, definitely. Anyways, I'm going to try and prepare the game real quick, you guys. But I'm going to give you guys the information about the brackets right now so you can check it out a little bit, what is going on. So, sorry. So we have then team, unfortunately, Austria that wasn't able to show up today. So they did give a 2-0 situation to Czech Republic. Finland also that lost to Germany 2-0. Germany that did win last qualifier. So Germany, once again, a high contender for this first place throughout this second part of the tournament. Gonna have to see if we're gonna see them a little bit later on throughout this tournament. Anyways, setting up the group right now. But how do you think Team UK must respond throughout this second game? Do you think it's around team play, or do you think draft had something very important to do with this loss?
It's mainly team play. They've got to get on the same page as a team. One thing that can always falter, without kind of being too generalized, one thing that can falter UK players when they're playing in a team is that they don't necessarily listen to each other. So there's a lot of kind of I won't say ego, but there's a lot of kind of, you know, I just want to go my own way, so to speak, and it kind of showed in the first game. But in this second game, they have to stick as a unit. They have to stick as a 5-man team. Be individual in how you bring your strengths to the table. But when push comes to shove, a 5-man team on the same page, on the same wavelength, is going to beat a team of better individual players. That's my opinion, and we're seeing that now.
Yeah, definitely. Like, they have to try and step up a little bit more and try and stick more as a team. That's going to be a lot more interesting for the side of Team UK. Anyway, sorry guys, I'm a little bit focused trying to get the one missing player into the game. Where did he go? Where did he go? I lost him.
Where did he go now, in the words of Guns N' Roses? But yeah, just I also want to talk about rank boom on this Ireland team. Of course, his build was a little bit kind of slightly questionable, but I understood it because of the comp that they had on their side and the sustainability they had in the team fights. But he also rotated really nicely down to the mid lane to help the Scarf and the Finn, and that shows that they knew where their strengths lied. Their strength was in the late game. Their strength was protecting the Scarf, and they drew on that. Even call me Speed God. Yes, he wasn't that effective, and he did die maybe a little bit too much, but he still rotated. He still was some form of a sacrificial lamb, which helped protect the Scarf. It's exactly how you play that comp.
Yeah, and definitely Scarf, like, they went for the Frostburn and also the Eve of Harvest build-up, which is something that I don't personally see on Scarf, like in the games I've been playing in solo queue. Like, it's been mostly like full-on pure burst, like Spellfire, Shadowglass, Broken Myth, and also WESG Clockwork. But like, that was a build that I didn't think was going to be that impactful. But damn, when you get a lead with that build on Scarf, like, it's absolutely insane. It was just shredding them through, and his ultimate was doing so much work. It was just super nice to see that played.
Yeah, I would have swapped the order of Frostburn and Spellfire, in my opinion. I would have put Spellfire first, because I think that's overall a slightly better early game item because of the Mortal Wound, so it can be surprisingly effective. Plus, with the Spitfire and Goop combo coming out from Scarf, it can be disgusting. But I also understood the Frostburn pickup, Max, man. It was just able to kind of slow the enemy down from getting onto him, and it helped kind of protect those engagements that was coming out from Team UK. It worked either way. I suppose, from what I know, I would have put Spellfire first. Hard to argue.
Yeah, I think Spellfire would have been a damn impactful item. Oh, Mr. K Cool is back and can re-invite him. Yes. Yes, we can get going with the game. Oh, we're invited.
He must have just have maybe been cooling down and preparing for this second game.
Wow.
I know.
That was way too easy, Imperium. Okay, I'll give you 2 out of 10 for that joke. Anyway, I'm gonna see if players are ready. Sorry for the little sound, by the way. That's when I enter on the keyboard. Vainglory does that sound on my PC. I'll try and take care of that for the next time. Anyways, we should be ready. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Apparently everyone is ready, so I'm gonna be starting up the draft arena. And let's see if UK can reclaim victory in this second game, as right now it is 1-0 for Team Ireland, and they played damn well, so we're going to have to see if that's going to continue in this second game as we now enter the draft phase.
Oh, man. Oh, as I said, I'm smiling from ear to ear because I am genuinely proud of my boys, so to speak, of Team Ireland, especially because in the first qualifier, Maxman, they had to drop out because they didn't have enough players, and I was fearful that it was going to happen this time, but obviously they showed up, they have the players coming on board, and it's paying off. But we do see the ban phases being picked up really quickly with Reza and Lorelei being the first 3 bans. Maybe UK will look to ban out Finn and to take it away from Ireland. But if they don't ban Finn, I don't think Finn should be first picked by Ireland, because it can be countered quite easy.
Yeah, they can be countered. Indeed. So they ban away the Cruel. Cruel has got an interesting spot in the meta. I think you could ask Tyras that likes to play that kind of hero. Even though Tyras actually doesn't like the hero. Like you said that a few days ago. Like, he doesn't actually like Cruel, but he plays it a lot. So props to him. I don't know how he does it, because I absolutely despise that hero. But anyways, first pick will be the Finn that's been shown to be super impactful for the side of Team Ireland. So if it ain't broken, don't fix it, right, Imperium? So they're going to be picking it up again throughout this second game. But Idris will not get banned this time, and that will be the first pick for Team UK.
Exactly, and I really like that Idris pickup, because Idris is dangerous, Idris is effective, and Idris is able to shut down, get past the Finn, more importantly, Maxman, especially in late game, and jump onto and burst down the likes of the Scarf. So it's going to be even more vitally important that if, and presumably, Scarf is picked up by Team Ireland, that they protect him. We do see it could be like, if it's not broken, they'll fix it. Catherine coming out by Team Ireland, similar comp so far coming out from the team of Ireland.
I think also a Lance would have been pretty damn impactful for their side, but again for the Catherine, like, once again, it's a good hero. Oh, that hover pick is making me pretty damn happy. I'm having a smile on my face so far. No. Okay. Okay, well, no Tony Boy, I guess, right now, but they do go for the flicker. So far, their comp is absolutely the same. And we're going to see how they're going to try and pull that off. But they go for the Gwen, so far, a lot of crit damage potential. But also, Idris, we've been talking a lot about Weapon Idris, how he can be played as an assassin and everything like that. But also, Idris has got a really viable CP path. And it's something that I've been seeing played in my ranked games quite a bit. Do you think this might be a situation where they would decide to go for an Idris because they got such a good tanky frontline on the enemy team?
It could be, and you could go for that alternating current Dragon's Eye build, and then ramp that damage up with the perk that Idris has. But I do prefer a weapon power build path on Idris right now. He could even go hybrid. We're seeing hybrid. Idris is with 2 core weapon power items, maybe 3, and then followed by a CP item to finish it off. That really makes those chakrams damaging. But we see the last 2 picks by Team Ireland, a Scarf and Silvernail.
I really enjoy Silvernail. I think Silvernail in this patch is really, really underrated because of all the nerf and stuff. And also crit Silvernail is not something that you see pretty often, to the point where I actually never seen a crit Silvernail. I do see Tornado Trigger, but like fully committing to a crit build, I never seen that. But I played Silvernail a few days ago, and I saw a few Silvernails get played also in my ranked games. And Silvernail is now a hero that really scales toward the late game. And one thing that I do not understand on their comp of Team UK is that they pick Grumpshaw into Silvernail. And for me, I believe
I
that
know.
Grumshaw gets heavily countered by Silvernail. So we're going to have to see how they're going to be playing now with that Grumshaw, because he's going to have a hard time to deal with that Rebuke and with those tripwires.
Not just heavily countered, but you've got Arden that's countered by the Silvernail, because that blood for blood can be shut down with the wires that comes out from Silvernail. You've got a lot of zoning potential that comes out from Silvernail, able to help keep the positioning and the security of Gaudier on the Scarf alive. But I also know that given a chance, Silvernail can put out an extreme amount of damage. You talked about it with that crit build. Ireland, my opinion, have the better draft.
Now, I've also liked the side of Team Ireland. They have, in my opinion, a really dominant draft. They have a lot of peeling potential and engage potential, followed by the Scarf. Sorry, I mean by the Fin and the Flicker together. They got a big engagement potential, and also the peeling potential coming out from the Rebuke and the Tripwires from the Silvernail. They got the best of both worlds on the side of Team Ireland with this comp, and I really want to see how UK is going to be approaching this comp and how they're going to be dealing with it throughout the entire game.
Yeah, no, in saying that, let's not shut Team UK down, because they are a team of strong players. So I think if they are given a chance to shut them down, they will. On the side of Team Ireland, the key has to be Idris on Kieran. It's going to be a mid lane, Idris, which is that CP path you talked about it. So let's see how effective that turns out to be.
Yeah, it's going to be very nice to see how that's going to actually come out. I saw a bunch of people actually go for burst CP Idris, which is, I don't think it makes much sense, especially in this kind of situation where you have such a tanky enemy frontline, so you want to be able to stack on it. CP buff will be secured by the side of Team Ireland there, secured by this Flicker, which is an absolute beast early game to securing objectives with his A ability. But Mr. K-Cool getting poked out a little bit there. Got to respect the damage output from Flicker and Silvernail combined, but still nice early game so far, as there was 2 successful jungle invades.
Oh no, Gaudier Sensei potentially getting.
Mr. K-Cool got it. He got the healer. He's trying to get away. Pop the Vanguard. Will he die? Will he get first blood? He does have the flash, so he will survive that anyway. But still, really nice blood for blood coming out from Mr. K-Cool.
Yeah, so we do see Kieran and Keys. I thought they were going to put Gaudier and Sensei under pressure, but no, fair play to Gaudier and Sensei.
Well, they can't.
They're really holding their own.
Idris doesn't have his passive yet, so he's got to be really respectful. And in the mid lane, that's one big problem. That is the weakness of early game CP Idris in the mid lane, is that you can't like play up against your enemy, and especially when there's a Scarf that can just poke you from range and even basic attack you pretty heavily when he's got his Fan the Flames passive applied on you. So he's just got to be really respectful, and that's what he's doing right now. He's just not going to do anything, not going for risky fights, and when he's going to be hitting his Power Spike, when he's going to get 100 CP power to unlock his Divergence Blast passive, that's when you're going to be seeing CP just looking for moves and trying to get a few kills up his sleeve.
Yep, 100%. 100%, Max. I totally agree with you there. It was just, I was thinking, no. wow, man. But it was only because Kieran had the CP buff that I thought he was gonna apply a bit more pressure onto Gaudier. But this Churmwalker coming out from Keys, Churmwalker is a fantastic hero and is able to provide a lot of AoE protection and damage. But I thought that they would have potentially have learned from this Finn. No, let's see what goes on, Maxwell.
Thran, who has used the flask, was able to back off just in time. Look at that Shakran there, doing quite a bit of damage already. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 crystal bits up his sleeve. I had to count. There's 6 maximum items, but I still had to count. Don't ask me why, guys. But yeah, he doesn't have, that doesn't give you his passive though, because as I said earlier, it doesn't give you the passive right away. Quibble will be able to secure the CP buff for himself, and Mr. K-Cool will give over to Team Ireland first blood. So far, this is a nice repeat of game number 1.
Well, in saying it though, Team UK are ahead on gold. It's minimal. It's only 100.
Oh, we had the same in game number 1. That's what I mean. Minimal. It's exactly the same.
Yeah. But yeah, Team Ireland working overall better as a team. They're rotating nicely. Thrant is also being there when he needs to be. Rank boom, followed by Gaudier and Sensei. Also, gotta give credit to Call Me Speak On. He's holding his own really quite nicely in the top lane in this second game. Hasn't died, isn't really kind of feeding, so to speak. So that's definitely a better start, in my opinion, compared to his first game. Those 6 crystal bits that's coming out from Kieran. Yes, it doesn't lock his passive, but those chakrams are chunking out a lot of damage.
Yeah, and it gets you closer. Like, I think just one more tier 2 item and you will be able to unlock its passive. Because 20 CP less is like pretty good for Kiran. That's why they did reduce the amount needed to unlock his Dive Avenger's Pass passive. But anyways, Grumjaw is on the get-go for this gank. But he's not level 6, so he cannot get the stuff. So you really can see that Gaudier wasn't really in any place of a threat at that point. But when he's going to hit that level 6, then Binny will be able to give a lot more opportunities towards his team. As we see the jungle camps now respawning. Not jungle invade coming out from the side of Team Ireland this time around, as they would take their jungle instead this time.
Yeah, and just looking at the kind of potential build paths, I'm thinking this is a game and this is the situation where actually Frostburn will be most effective for Gaudier, because that's going to slow down the Idris engaging potential. It's going to slow down the Grumjaw engaging potential. And yes, even though there's a lot of zoning and a lot of protection coming out from the likes of the Finn, and as you do see, Gaudier is potentially going to shut down.
Pops the flask right there. Sensei going to take a lot of damage from that Shakrami. As you did say, is now chunking a fair amount of damage. Got to be respectful at that point. Call me God. He's going to try and come in. Merciless Pursuit. Going to be a little bit late. That will be the CP Trian. Secured by the... Oh, no. Oh, nice. This is high onto Rank Boom. Does get the flask in response to that. Now, I'm clean. He has no energy. No way to escape. He's going to be booting away, though. We'll be able to get away from that stick situation. Merciless Pursuit, once again, does connect onto Kiran. He's not level 6, so he cannot use his ultimate to reposition. But you know what he does have? He has his flask to turn that fight around, as he does barely knock his ultimate. No, Call Me Speak God just barely survives it. Oh, my God. Now, Thrant in the middle of it, in the thick of it, surrounded by foes, but that will be the Finn dropping down. 1-for-1 trade throughout this top lane, top part of the jungle skirmish. Still, now they're applying a lot of pressure, and Ireland's still really, really super strong at this point.
Yeah, and man, Call Me Speak God, you survived so well. Great job, mate. Really good disengagement coming out from himself on that Catherine. And also, in saying that, Kieran lost his life as well on the counter. Mr. Keiko being cheeky, taking away that heal buff. He's good with that Arden and just getting that blood for blood on to secure that item. But we could see Rank Boom now securing this bot lane third for Team Ireland.
Yeah, Mr. K, cool. I think you should run away right now. Run, boy, run. Because the wave, it was way too important. Mr. K, cool. Going to get slowed down. Not going to get rooted. But Keys is there. He's rotating effectively to try and help out his big boy, Mr. K, cool. And he will be able to keep him alive, at least for now. Aftershock is going to be the first offensive item coming out from Binny on this Grumshaw. How do you think that's going to work out throughout this game, Imperium?
It makes sense for a couple of reasons. It's pure burst damage. I think he knows that he's going to find it hard to stick on and kind of really stay on any of the Team Ireland players in terms of Gaudier or Rank Boom. So going for the Aftershock, it's kind of burst damage, and then if he has to try and stay alive, he can just try and stay alive. But Gwen takes down Catherine. Just being out of position, that could mean the turret could be secured by Team UK up in that top lane. But yeah, I do like the Aftershock first item being picked up.
Trespass coming out there from Keys. Force the Court going to be crucibled out by the side of Team UK. Now, Dragon's Breath once again going to try and get the burn down on Mr. Keiko. Will survive anyways without too much of a sweat. And I'll just try to zone him out a little bit. Well, they're able to get them out. They're just going to get the vision. They use the Mooncloak. They're trying to be a little bit sneaky on this engagement as Kiran is out of position. He can just jump through the wall. He will use his ultimate instead because his A was in cooldown. He was out of energy at that point. So we'll anyway survive that situation. But still, 2-2, 8 minutes in. No actual goalie. A little bit of a goalie to the side of Team UK. But once again, something you can easily overlook when you are 8 minutes into the actual game. So Kiran trying to get the steal there with the Shakram. Not able to get it quite yet. But Keys, there's a situation where he can actually try and get Gaudier under turret and trying to get the aggro. That's a lot of damage coming down onto Kiran. Does get the Vanguard just in time. Boom. Will be focused down by Binny. Binny does have his stuffed ultimate, but will not find the range opportunity to get him up in his stomach. So that will be Silvernail getting out without a sweat.
And also, just if anybody else wasn't aware, you cannot perform the teleport boot Grumjaw stuffed combo anymore. If you do swallow somebody and you do activate your teleport boots, you will spit them back out. So that's something that has changed from the 3.7 patch. I know Max Green somewhat made that famous. People tried to copy it. You cannot do that anymore. So that's going to definitely kind of play a part, because if that would have been the case, all he would have had to do was maybe swallow the flicker or the
Catherine, I think,
or the Silvernail, and that could have made a big difference in these team fights. So yeah, so overall 9 minutes in, quite close between the two teams, but Team Ireland are now starting to ramp up and get to this late game position that they need to be, but Team UK are rotating up to this top lane.
Yeah, they want to try and get that turret. They lost their top lane turret, so they're going to try and take the enemy's bot lane turret. Well, like, because of the map mirroring, so that might seem a little bit weird, but that's actually how it is. Keys in the middle of that, going to try and get a few hook and chains, but unfortunately you're going to get punished every time. As I said earlier, you do get punished when you do miss that hook and chain, because the cooldown was now increased, so he's got to be a little bit wary of that. If he does miss it out, he's going to have a lot of opportunities. But now it's going to be Mooncloak coming out from the side of Team Ireland, trying to get an opportunity to take him down. That's going to be level 8 stun right onto Kieran with that good old fat quibble. Fountain to Dragon's Breath, and Kieran just taking and just getting roasted down to pieces. Just can't do anything at this point. Keys, he doesn't have his ultimate anymore, and he will also drop down. And Ireland just, my God, they're just putting up these fights so well. It's absolutely insane. You got to respect this team.
Oh, so much, and also
so much. Oh yeah, said the Irishman.
I know, right? I'm not modest at all, but no.
Okay,
also, Call Me Speaker getting the better of this Gwen so far in this game. They will secure this mid lane turret. Ghostwing is up. It is looking to be secured by Team Ireland as well. They're ramping up. We're 10 minutes into the game. They're 5-2 ahead in kills. They're about 2k ahead in gold. When you look at the build pass, Frostburn was picked up a scarf on that first item. I called it. I said it was a good choice. He's going to most likely follow up with an Eve of Harvest, maybe a Spellfire second item, but Sensei has got to be careful. Ghosting has yet to be secured by Team Ireland, but it will in the next second. Just like that, Team Ireland increase their map domination, Maxman.
Yeah, now they have this Ghostwing up their sleeves, under their belt. They can now try and go for these objective pushes. I'm especially thinking about this top lane where Catherine is able to bully down that Gwen quite effectively. So they have an opportunity if they do decide to rotate up there for Team Ireland. Doesn't seem like they're going for that right now. But I'm going to talk real quick about Rank Boom on this silver now. He went Serpent Mask, Breaking Point as his two first offensive items. And we know that Serpent Mask got a little bit of a nerf in terms of damage output, and Breaking Point also got a nerf. So throughout a team that's got so much like burst potential, thinking here about the Idris and the Gwen, do you think that is the best itemization possible, or do you think going like Sora Blade, Poison Shield would have been more effective here?
I do think that that's very much a 3.7 meta build coming out from Rank Boom right now. So I do think that a better build, like you mentioned, Poison Shift, Sora Blade, or even Sora Blade kind of Tyrant's Monocle followed by Tension Bow would have been a bit more effective. But however, so far it is working for him. We will see if it will make a difference in the later game team fight.
Oh, man, no, you're doing the ultimate, but without your team around. Now they did rotate just in time, so now that's going to be a lot more effective. That's going to be a very nice trespass. Unfortunately, going to come out from Keith, but unfortunately he's not able to use it, and he will drop before having the opportunity. And I'm clean, getting out, just getting completely bullied by this flicker. We got to call the bully hunters because UK are getting shredded to pieces throughout these fights. And finish just game number 1. Super impactful with those Force Accord. Game number 2, just a repeat. It's exactly the same situation. I'm clean. Yep. That information. His nose there. Run, boy, run. But he's going to be able to normally get away. He does have the pulse sweep, so he got the extra move speed. Merciless Pursuit will be off cooldown right now. Can he get the stun? Block does come out. He did also have the skedaddle if needed. But still, that's going to be the Black Claw taken over by Team Ireland as they're going to be trying to take down this second mid lane turret.
Exactly. Stick together as a 5-man team, guys. You've got that wave pushing in your bottom lane. Even if you lose your top lane, doesn't really matter. Stick together. You know, all 5 members of Team UK are up, but you have that Spitfire Goop combo that can really burst down these turrets, and we're seeing another bit of engagement.
You're going to have an engagement there. The health bar's melting down at the start of Team Ireland. They have to be very cautious about the situation. Trespass coming out. Does it get a one-man stun? Followed by the Aces High, but unfortunately they're not able to commit and follow up on that ultimate from the Gwen. So now that's going to be Keith's out position. Gets stunned up by the Quibble. Gwen trying to look for the opportunity to get a kill there, but unfortunately not able to find it. Binny does pop the flask. Does get out of that spot. Just barely, unfortunately. Grumsh having a lot of gap closing ability, so he was able to close that gap. But Forcicle going to get Crucible down, and now that's going to be, unfortunately, the lot of damage coming out from Godier. That's a lot of damage. You need Flex Tape to fix that team up, and they also get the entire team. Binny still up. One man standing with Kieran. Can they get away from that? I think so. Grumshaw, we're going to try and focus down Call Me Speed, but damn, they just got shredded in their own base.
And Godier, he took a risk with that Dragon's Breath. He started taking turret damage, but it paid off because he got the kills and he helped secure the turret and he survived. I want to talk about his build a little bit. I said that Eve of Harvest would be a second item, but I actually don't agree with it as a second item in this situation because, frankly speaking, I don't think he needs the Eve of Harvest protection. I know it got buffed, but either Dragon's Eye or Spellfire would be a lot more burst effective against this Team UK. And they're ahead. If he was behind, then yes, I would understand the Eve of Harvest pickup. But when you're ahead, just keep up that momentum. Go for more damage. Don't worry about being sustainable because you've got the team protection behind you that is securing that. But either way, they're going for the safe route. It is paying off, but that was something that I did want to mention, Maxman.
Yeah, right now we do see the Silvernail picking up the Bone Sword. Bone Sword got a pretty huge buff in this patch. So followed up with all his items. It gets his passive up way more often because he's got the breaking point. He's got the Bone Sword. So his attack speed is up to 11 right now. So he's just going to be able to get that passive up and get extra burst damage. And that means also faster stacks on his breaking point. So far his build, when you build it like that, it makes kind of sense. Especially when you have a pretty damn big front line as a Churmwalker, an Arden, and a Grumshaw. So it's going to take time to stack up. But I still think that Poison Shield would have been better with a Sword Blade. But anyway, so far it's working out for him. And that's the only thing we can really say here, Imperium.
Exactly, that's the thing. Same with the Eve of Harvest second item coming out from God EA, but he has now got Spellfire.
Oh, he's teleported in, and that's gonna. Oh, Idris just said, "Oh hell no, I'm getting the hell out of this place." Quibble does get the stun down. He does get slowed down also by the pulse weave. There, we'll be able to get away from that bad spot. And still, they took down the 2 choke point turrets in the bot and the mid lane. So the armories are now open wounds for the side of Team UK. So they've got to be very cautious about that. The Ghost Ring is on their side, so now they have a little bit more time for them to actually use that buff to their advantage and actually go and push these armories or even the extra turrets that they didn't push in the top lane. But right now, they're trying to be a little bit sneaky peeky, like trying to stay in that bush, trying to ambush someone of the enemy team. I see Benny, doesn't seem like he's going towards that point. But Ireland, man, I didn't know Irish people were like this, Imperium. Do you confirm?
I didn't know either. Like this is
no
pro level strategy.
No peekaboo, bitch! Oh, he got destroyed. Okay, he got melted in a blink of an eye. You blinked and you missed it. That's going to be 2 members getting absolutely shredded. Idris and Gwen, goodbye. And now they have the opportunity to end the game. They do not have the Ghost Ring buff anymore. But they have the opportunity, though, to end it as it only is Binny and Keys, which are 2 heroes that aren't carries. And unfortunately, Mr. K-Cool is AFK. I don't know if that is a rage quit or anything else. But unfortunately, this seems like it will be a 2-0 for Ireland. And I definitely know one person that is incredibly happy right now.
Who's that, Maxon? Who's that?
I don't know,
but
dude.
Either way, the game isn't over, though. Let's be honest. The game is yet to be finished. Vein Crystal is not first. Rank Boom has been taken down. And now it's finally done. And wow, Team UK, hate to say it, guys, but do you want to rejoin the EU? But anyway, on that note, that was just, look, Team Ireland, they stuck to the same strategy. They kept to what worked with their comp. Finn, Scarf, Catherine, Flicker. The only thing that was different between the first game and the second game was a Silvernail for the Gwen. It was still just as effective, and like I said, gotta give credit to Call Me Speed God. He played a lot better in the second game than he did in the first game. Again, all that did was help secure Team Ireland's win, and they will move on to the next stage of this tournament.
Like, the thing is also they picked up the Silvernail for peeling potential against their comp.
Yes.
But they didn't even have to peel because they would have gotten engages. They were always the one team pulling the trigger on the side of Team UK. And they just couldn't deal with it because they didn't have that much peeling potential. They have a little bit coming out, but compared to Team UK, they just had, as I said earlier, they had the best of both worlds. And that was a factor that unfortunately Team UK just didn't have a chance to deal with. And just UK, once again, really good synergy. And I cannot wait to see how this team is going to be doing throughout the entirety of this tournament.
Definitely. And also on the side of UK, I don't agree with that Idris mid pickup. I feel he would have been more effective as even a weapon power jungler or a bot lane jungler. Oh, sorry, a bot lane weapon power hero with that strong weapon power, you know, poison shiv, crit build, even hybrid. It would have been a lot more effective in these team fights, whereas I felt that he just got bursted down in the mid lane. He wasn't able to kind of ramp up that well. And with the Churmwalker, it wasn't enough sustainability. That's what I felt happened, and it's what led to Team UK's downfall.
Yeah, we're gonna have to check out real quick the bracket for you guys, so I'm gonna be going on to that right now. Sorry, just taking a little second. Boom, Boom, perfect. So right now, let's check out the actual brackets. So bracket A, we have Romania that lost to Netherlands 2-0. Spain, Turkey, still no scores updated. France did lose 2-0 up against Team Italy, and Russia also won to Slovakia 2-0. So far, who is going to the quarterfinals? Netherlands, Italy, and Russia for the bracket A. I was going to say number A, but A is not a number, so that doesn't work out. And then for bracket B, we have Czech Republic that did win 2-0 against Austria because Austria didn't show up. Then we had United Kingdom losing right now 2-0 to Ireland. So Ireland moving up to the quarterfinals of the WESG tournament. And then Ukraine, Belarus, no information. And Germany 2-0 against Team Finland. Not really surprised about that outcome. But I was definitely really surprised about Ireland taking UK 2-0 Imperium. That was absolutely insane. What do you think they're going to be trying to pull off throughout the entirety of this tournament? Do you think they have a chance next weekend against Czech Republic?
I do think their opponents are going to be a big step up in terms of team synergy, in terms of practice ability. Like we pointed out, Czech Republic on research have done quite a good bit of practice together as a 5-man team or as even as 3-man team in these games. So I know Ireland are going to have to step up their game. I would like to see a different kind of strategy come out for them, just to see a vary in how they work in different play styles. But then again, look, if it's working for them and they are really synergizing with that type of late game comp, then yes, they can go very far in this tournament. Yes. Could we see Team Ireland and WESG next year?
Man, that would be fun. I would like to see that, actually. But anyway, I'm going to come up with a little bit of an update for you guys. Sorry there. Spain versus Turkey. So Spain won 2-0 up against Team Turkey. So they will be going up to the quarterfinals. And Ukraine versus Belarus. Ukraine won 2-0 also. So far, a lot of 2-0 situations. Like, both of our matches were 2-0s Imperiums. And so far, like, a lot of matches have been in that situation. So we're just taking the top of the cream right now. The cream of the crop. Like, how do you say it, Imperium? I forgot.
Cream of the crop, baby.
Cream of the crop. Okay, so I was saying it completely wrong. But yeah, the cream of the crop is going to be coming up into the quarterfinals next weekend, the 28th. So yeah, if you want to come up next weekend, 28th, we will be coming up at 6 p.m. CEST at the same time. If you want to come around and check it out, that would be greatly appreciated. I hope you had a good time on this stream with me and Imperium. Imperium, before we wrap this up, do you have anything to say?
I just want to say, you know, well done to both teams that won today. It was great to see some action in these WESG qualifiers, and I really look forward to seeing even more.
Absolutely want to see more and way more. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Hope you had a good time. Real quick before we do end, I want to say thank you to Razer for allowing us to do these kind of events. It wouldn't be possible without them. So Razer, thank you very much. And also to the organization of WSG and VGL for letting me and Imperium cast this tournament. I hope you had a good time. And yeah, so I hope to see you guys next weekend. Stay awesome, guys, and we'll be seeing you guys next time on the Rise.
yeah.